Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Sector 1 Sim Racing. Tonight we will be joining, or you will be joining us live from Nürburgring GP in Germany. It's the last round. It's round 6. There's championships on the line. There's minimal points in it, and it's going to be one hell of a race. Joining me in the box is Lucas, the good doctor. How are you?
I'm good, mate. How are you tonight?
Yeah, pretty well.
Pretty well. Good on the line for you tonight.
We get Brent. Brent is joining us. Sorry, Brent. Joining us in the box for the M4s. How are you tonight, Brent?
Would it be bad if I said I was nervous about tonight? Nah, I'm pretty good. Good evening, everybody. It's going to be an epic night. We're at Nürburgring, and we've seen everything happen from big moments in crashes to people losing championships here, so there's no shortage of history here. I'm nervous, but I'm keen to get into it. Let's do it.
Well, we got both your team and my team in the M6s that are going head to head tonight, so it's going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I was almost tempted to put a fiver with you on this one, but it's too close to call. 1 point between TX3 GDR and Mr. Morgan Davie himself, man of the hour. It's qualifying is going to be so critical, and it could swing either way at any point in this championship. So, yeah, nervous times ahead, but may the best man win.
Well, let's take a quick look at some points here. We got TJ sitting on 131 points for Team 53, followed by Ghost for Ragged Edge, 9 points behind. Chuck, who was sitting in third place for Cornerstone on 121, and this is another bit of action tonight. Chuck's not in. We have Airborne coming in for Chuck, or replacing one of many that didn't make it tonight, I guess. And Airborne's certainly going to stir things up. He's probably not in. He's definitely not in the points battle, but he's going to make some headlines tonight, I think, to up the front of this Group A field in the M4s.
Yeah, and he's going to be the joker in the deck, as I like to say. He's been very, very fast from the get-go, so much so that he's been up the very pointy end of the field, especially in the practices. He's looked very, very sharp. He's definitely the ace in the sleeve for the guys that are fighting for the championship. T-Jam, Ghost, Jimmy Superfly, who's also still in it. How he factors into this is going to be huge tonight.
So it's all down to how TJ's going to drive his race. He's only 9 points ahead, but then second, third, and fourth are only 1 point apart from each other. So 10 and 11 points. Anything can happen. If TJ needs to finish roughly about 9th or worse to lose the championship, I think it is, and it's going to be pretty hard to do that. He's a definite good racer, but I mean, anything can happen in these races, as we've seen over the season. There's disconnects, there's crashes, incidents, stewards reports. So it all leads.
Failures.
Yeah, it all leads to having a bit of luck, I guess. I made a little bit of a picture for you blokes tonight. Let me just see if I can find the right button. So we've also brought Jimmy Superfly into the mix. So with the 1 point now or 2 points he was behind Ghost, is looking even better now because Chuck's out of the mix. So we got TJ in first, who's driving for Team 53. Ghost in second for Ragged Edge, and now it brings Jimmy Superfly up into third, who is driving for Death Grip Racing. Another one of the contenders tonight. He will definitely be putting on a show. He's definitely one of the fast drivers in this field. I think it's going to be pretty good to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolute bloodbath. So these guys are going to be playing for the last skittle in the bag. What do you reckon we get into some qualifying and, yeah, see who makes it or breaks it?
Sounds good. I'll just do a quick show of the team points. So Ragged Edge are on top. We got 237 points. Deeds Racing following closely, 12 points deficit. And Counterpunch in third for 218. And as you can see, you go down the list, it drops even further. Aussie Hampton on the bottom, which not their best outcome, but always next season. So when you're ready, we are good to go for qualifying.
Let's do it. Good luck to everybody. Hope you enjoyed the show tonight, guys, in chat. Smash the like button if you do. Also, if you haven't subscribed, give us a subscribe.
Alright, boys. Have a good race. I'll see you on the other side.
Too easy.
Let's do it.
Okay, qualifying has started. Let's jump out. Where are we going? Where are we going?
Jeez, these cars look fantastic in this Nürburgring sun.
So what I've been finding, I've done a couple of laps this week. This track's very slippery in the M6. I'm not sure in the M4, but I guess they both drive the same style, so they won't be far from each other. It's a very oversteery track.
Yeah, I did a full race sim earlier for tonight, and the M4 is just a joy to drive. It just grips everywhere you look, and it's absolutely wonderful here. We're going to see some very, very quick laps here. We're looking in qualifying for, I'd say, somewhere in the 57s. We'll net you in the top half of the field. As for strategy, it could swing any way. You can pit early, you can pit late, you can pit 15 minutes remaining. Wealth of options here.
Alright, so it looks like Stickers leading the pack. Do a bit of a run through the field. Stickers in the Bacchus livery. TJ sitting in first position in the championship in the Alliance Civil for Team 53, followed by Mr. Bumcrack for Auto 1. Jim Bob for the Ronin car controls for CJ Esports. And now the new member tonight for Chill Out Systems and racing cars like Legends is honourably airborne. I think he's going to be upsetting some of these drivers tonight because he has some super fast speed. And the Sandman.
Joker in the field.
Sandman in the next level challenger for Counterpunch. Superfly for Erebus in the Erebus Motorsports livery for Death Grip Racing. S1 Magnet will be in the second of the Chill Out cars, I believe. No, he's in the Autobahn, that's right. For Lucky's Lawn Care. Race Fan in the Deeds entry. What have we got tonight? Laurel Creek.
Yeah, sour hazy double IPA, a little bit of mandarin, and I think it's peach as well. His final race, so we're doing something special for himself and our other BMW that you'll see shortly. Thanks, Good Dog.
That was for Deeds. Then we got Datsun in 10th, owner of the Datsun Racing team in the Bacchus livery. Ghost sitting down in 11th for the second of the Ragged Edge cars, sitting second in the points. Shizer in 12th for the second of the next level challenger cars for Counterpunch. And the Kazi one, second of the Deeds entries. And this one is the Juice Train.
Yep, picked the Juice Train, Kazi's favourite brew, and also won a gold medal at the ABRA Awards. Also, big congratulations to Green Beacon, who took home 7 gold ABRA Awards as well. So, to the guys at Red Mist Racing, you got a world-class brew there.
Alright, who we got left? VF in 14th. I believe he might be the only Aussie Hampton car on tonight.
That's correct.
And that will be for the Moffs team, Aussie Hampton. Let's jump back up the Stickers because we're just coming up now to the last corner. Let's see what the first of the times can be for qualifying. So it's already 4 minutes in. They're going to get another 2, maybe 3 laps. Alright, here we go.
Keeping an eye on Sean at the moment. He's setting purple sectors.
Stickers of the 158.4. TJ to the top with a 157.8. Mr. Bumcrack straight into second.
Oh.
Honourably airborne. Right behind TJ. Oh, we're seeing some times now. Superfly. Down
Goes to the top.
Goes to the top with a 157.7. Shizer into second. Look at this. 157.8. Stickers move back down to 7th. He's gone purple.
Top 6 are separated by 0.02 of a second at the moment. This is fantastically close.
Oh, there's a bit of an incident there. Looked like either the Sandman or Shides might have got in the way a little bit.
Sandman.
Magnet in 8th for the Autobahn for Lucky's Lawn Care. It's turned out so good, that livery. Oh, is that? Yeah, it is Lucky's Lawn Care, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Made by Knuckles, the number 2 driver. Airborne's purple at the moment.
Well, we know Airborne's going to have something to say. The championship leader sitting in 3rd. We know he can put in a good lap when he needs to, so when it comes to this last fly, he's going to be giving it everything. So will Ghost, so will Shizer, and so will Honorary Airborne.
Still purple through the 3rd sector is Airborne.
Just jump back up to TJ quickly because he'll cross the line first. Nope, they're straight into the pits. What does Airborne do? Oh, he's jumping some major curb here. Into the pits. This is it. They got an out lap pretty much, and then a go hard lap. We're all set. They're all jumping in now.
Yeah, the surprise at the moment, Stickers. P7, he's shown wicked pace in all the practice sessions so far. 7/10 off the off Ghost's lap time, but be sure he's going to be in the mix in that top 5.
I think Stickers he's due for a bit of a podium.
You're looking for a great result at Dadson Racing as well. If you haven't kept your eyes on the draft that happened on Wednesday night, it was announced that Stickers will be leaving, joining fellow admin Jim Bob's squad at CJ Esports. Some big moves happened down the field, which we'll talk about at a later date.
Now, it's a big thing to lose Stickers, but because he's such a good driver, and it's a good pickup for Jimmy. But at the same time, Dadson has picked up some major drivers as well in Airborne and Kiwi Räikkönen.
Yeah, Airborne especially, he's going to be wanting to make a statement in this race, so having him in with the best of the best in Group A here, and he's P4 at the moment, he's only just over a 10th behind Ghost's pole lap. Real statement could be made here.
Now, just while we go before this last lap, I had to talk to a few of the drivers this week, just to get their thoughts on how they're approaching the race. Just so you know, TJ wrote me pretty much a whole essay, but I'm going to break it down. So first up,
in response to Jim Bob and Ghost, they both said they were just wanting to get this race over and done with, and just look forward to it.
TJ said, first up, he's nervous as hell. He knows that a small mistake and the championship dreams are gone. It's too close to be an outright win. Strategy is key. Fuel game is key. It's fuel.
Oh, he's run wide at the last corner too. Just on his, he's just starting the lap and he's just run wide. He's going to lose a couple of tenths there.
And who's he got behind him? He's got Mr. Bumcrack too. And Mr. Bumcrack can pull a lap out of anywhere. Fast lap out of anywhere. Jim Bob up to 7th.
58.3. There's plenty of time to be found.
So just to finish off TJ's story, he said his approach is going to be simple. He's not going for an outright dominant display. He just wants to achieve at least P4 to secure the win from Ghost. So a tidy race is in order. Now we had one for Chuck, but Chuck's not in tonight. And so I don't have one for Superfly, but I do have one from Ghost. And Ghost was saying...
PGM's backed out. He's backed out of it.
Look at this time from Ghost. Ghost is 0.3 up. While he goes through this section, let's go back to Mr. Bumcrack in 5th. Oh, he's under. Where's Honourably Airborne? Oh, he's purple.
He's purple, 2 tenths up.
So Ghost was saying he's pretty relaxed for this race. His main focus is team championships, so all in for RER. We'll probably get time for a couple of sessions this week, so he needs to make the best out of his practice sessions. So
He's making a good so far. He's 3/10 up on this lap. Purple.
he's been sick all week too. He's caught that dreaded man flu.
Shice has got a penalty.
Oh, he's 0.3.
Wow.
Ghost is still 0.3
Wow.
up. Where's Airborne? Alright, let's see what he
He's a
does.
couple of tenths down. Gonna need a big final sector Airborne. Crack to the top. TGM to the top. Wow, that was a...
No, that's not on my screen. I've got Honourably Airborne at the top. Let's see where Ghost goes.
Wow. This is what happens when you have very poor timing.
Ghost to the top.
Wow, what a time. 2/10 up.
2/10 up's a pretty big gap to make if you got... I don't even think we'll get another lap. That's over.
Yep,
Shizer.
that's qualifying done.
Shizer in
Wow.
4th. TJ in
He had the
5th.
toe of Ghost.
It's not where he wants to start. Mr. Bumcrack in 6th. That's a good entry. Superfly down in 7th. What's going on here?
Yeah,
Superfly that needed this right up the front.
That's a big surprise for mine.
Alright. Do we have any grid penalties?
No, we don't. We're straight into it. No paperwork tonight.
Righto, we can do it.
Yeah.
It's all up to me now. I've
Times
got to
now.
try and find this view. So 157.3 from Ghost to take pole. Honourably Airborne, as we knew, would be fast. Not far behind, but the big story is TJ down in 5th.
That is huge. Ghost actually cut the gap to 7 points with that pole position as well for the title.
3 lights, 5 lights. And we're racing. Oh, it looks like Ghost got a pretty good start. Oh, he's got a gun start. He'll be cheering here. He's been sick all week, so this is going to make...
Everyone gets through first corner clean. TGM's made his way to 3rd.
TJ's going to have to make a hustle here if he wants to make a championship fight out of it.
That pole position was critical for Ghost as well. He's really in it with a fight now.
How good is this though from Shizer? Shizer up the front. In the top 3. And it's only early days, but he can do this. He's definitely a great racer. Superfly in 4th. Yeah, Superfly can just sit back there and just watch what goes on up the front. I mean...
Whoa! Got the rear sideways for a second.
Ghost now has to set the pace, so that's going to depend on the fuel usage he uses and what the others behind him can save. Stickers in 5th. Jim Bob up to 6th, so Jim Bob's got a good start. So Honourably Airborne has had a second-hand start tonight. He's second on the grid and he's now back in 7th. Mr. Bumcrack in 8th. Race Fan down in 9th. That's an intent. Sandman in 11th. Magnet in the Autobahn entry for Lucky's Lawn Care. Sliding all the way into the corner.
So at this stage in the points style of things, TGM has to finish 4th or higher and he'll claim the title. Any lower than that and Ghost will have it.
Well, we kind of know it's a big ask to bridge the gap of 9 points with a driver like TJ, but like we were saying at the start of the stream,
Oh, he's made a move.
anything
He's
can
made a move
happen.
on Shizer. He takes P2.
There we go. That's where the fight starts.
There you go, great start by Jimmy Superfly as well. Started P7, not the best qualifying, and he's in the front pack, P4. Great moves early on.
I'm still surprised. Not surprised. I'm still happy for Shizer. Such a good start to this race. If he can hold on to a top 5 at least. Oh, there's a touch. Touch from Superflies
contact.
on the grass.
Oh, good car control. That could have ended badly just then.
Superfly doesn't want to let him get away. That's why. He's trying to get around Shizer as fast as he can. Look at TJ though, he's going to sit behind this bumper and save fuel, I reckon. Team orders surely of that.
Top two are starting to skip away from Shizer as well, just that little bit. The pace is hot at the moment. Airborne makes his way up to P6. Fighting with Jim Bob at the moment. Oh, a little bit of contact.
So this is where we're going to see Airborne really find his spot and his groove in Group A, because yes, he was probably blasting the doors of Group B, but I mean this is another step up, so this is where he's going to be racing next season.
Oh, Jimmy just tried to make a big lunge at the chicane. There's contact, he's got the elbows out, takes P3. Stickers is going to have a look. Big look up the inside.
Just starting to
done too. Great move.
Just starting to see Ghost and TJ stepping away a little bit. Got a bit of gamesmanship already going on from Ghost. Going defensive.
Oh, TGM around the outside. Oh, can he hold on? Oh. That's pressure. Pressure of the highest order, and we know Ghost is one fantastic operator. TGM's no slouch behind the wheel though. This is the championship fight right here.
Good exit there from TJ and Ghost. You're going to have to excuse my nasally voice tonight. I'm battling the man flu myself.
Ghost has been battling that man flu all week. So has Jim Bob actually. So both of them coming in a little bit cloudy.
Yeah, that's
obviously not affecting Ghost too much. He's driving really well.
That's right. Womble TJ is back in the M4 again next season, so he knows the car back to front. Stickers in 4th. Shizer's now slightly dropping back to 5th. What's happened to Airborne? He's been gone. He's been passed by Mr. Bumcrack, so he's finding it a bit hard in Group A.
Baptism of fire.
Honorary Airborne back down. I'm just going to call him Airborne tonight because it's not working with my nasals. Back down in 8th. Race Fan in 9th. Looks good, that green livery. Same as the blue one.
Very proud of that one. Good dock livery. Great job.
So that's
TGM's actually fallen back to the clutches of Jimmy Superfly here, who's just run wide. Stickers going to have a look. Heading towards the final corner. Does Stickers get it done? Oh, a little bit of contact.
They're not leaving much room.
No, but TGM had a moment just at the Schumacher S there. Just had to wipe off a little bit of speed, which has created a gap between himself and Ghost. Ended up falling right into the back of, right into Superfly, and as Stickers just gets the elbows out. Oh, Shizer's in with a look at this if anything goes wrong.
I tell you what, Shizer is got every little bit of patience here. He'll get around these two if they keep fighting towards each other.
Oh, aggressive by Stickers. He's making this count.
Oh, Superfly, does Superfly get a penalty?
There's going to be an invoice. Is there going to be an invoice? No.
Looks like he got away with it. Yes, he got one.
Oh, there it is.
That's going to hurt, so here's the penalty burn zone coming right up now. Let's see if he's watched his... Oh, he can't move over.
He's trying to burn it.
Perfect penalty burn.
He tried to get the burn on early, and then Shizer just made contact with Shizer, but it's dropped into P6. His Airborne looks around the outside.
Oh, here comes Mr. Bumcrack.
TGM's caught right up to the back of Ghost. It's on for young and old here.
Got a little bit of a feeling Ghost is playing it a little bit safe at the moment. He's definitely got more in the bag. It's always harder to be chased than it is the chaser. Well, that's from my point of view, because the pressure from behind does tend to make some mistakes, but then the aero from the car in front, the aero wash, it does make it harder to drive the car behind, so maybe it's even.
And we learned from TJ's debut in the M6 at Maggiore. He's not afraid to get the elbows out at all, so he'll give it as good as he gets it.
Yeah, it's
Just in the background, Magnet's just doing quick penalty burn. Cut the chicane.
can't find now Magnet. He must be down in 13th. There we go.
Tell you what, Airborne's not having it at his own way at the moment. He's been in Group B for a couple of rounds, dominated, and Group A's just decided to give him a little bit of a bloody nose and see if he wants to fight back.
Well, you are pretty well racing up against the best ones in your group, so it's definitely putting you in your spot where you should be driving. Now we know he was no slouch, but I mean neither are any of these drivers, so it's definitely sorting where he needs to sit in the field of play.
Exactly.
TJ just tries to take the inside, but it's Ghost is just shutting the door every time.
He tries. He's really trying for this.
I think he's just keeping the pressure on, hoping Ghost will make a mistake.
Yeah, he's trying to force it to happen. He wants it to happen, but I don't think. Oh, Ghost he's a champion for a reason.
It's a nice smooth driver, Ghost. TJ with the fastest lap at the moment with a 1:58.1.
Talking to Ghost earlier in the day as well, he just wanted to pick up points for the team. He felt like he didn't really have the pace to contest for a win or to fight for the championship, but with that pole position, it's made life much more difficult for TJ, so making him earn it, that's for sure.
So just sitting behind Honourably Airborne's race fan, and it looks like he's caught up to this pack.
Yeah, good showing by race fan so far. He's done a lot of testing in the last 24 hours, and he's really making Airborne earn his royal pork treats tonight. World Championship for 7th, bum crack. Oh, Airborne's going to look around the outside. Is he? No.
Superfly still sitting in 6th. Nice little surprise there.
Yeah, it's Jim Bob.
Jim Bob, yeah, I was just about to say.
Yeah.
In 5th place there. The further we... let's just jump back up the front, see it's still a close battle. Doesn't look like they're going anywhere. Stickers up the 3rd. We'll do a bit of a run through. Shizer in 4th. Jim Bob in 5th.
Oh, T-Jam's making the move. He's making the move. Ghost just runs wide a little bit at the hairpin.
Oh,
Going up to the Schumacher S.
He's got the inside. Tell you what, that's good driving on TJ. He backs out of it a little bit just to make the room. I think TJ's probably going to wear his tyres a bit faster because he's in that aero. I think it's just understeer everywhere. So this will probably, when it gets to lap, I don't know what kind of lap, say lap 7 or 8, you're going to start seeing these things drift everywhere and understeer. And I think it's probably going to be TJ's car that's going to hurt more being in that slipstream.
Yeah, well, he's got a little bit of front tyre wear compared to Ghost, but they're actually equal on fuel right now.
So that tells me that TJ is trying just as hard as Ghost to stay at that speed. What he is doing though is I can see Stickers here in 3rd is definitely catching these two. And
He's using more of the car up to do it though.
The top 3 have definitely pulled away from Jim Bob now in 4th. He's got around at Shizer.
Oh, look behind. Jimmy's looking for a move on Airborne.
Doesn't quite get it done.
Oh.
When are we going to see our first of the pit stops? We've probably got another lap maybe, end of this lap maybe.
Yeah, lap 7's about when the tyres start to drop off, especially on the front end. The front tyres tend to wash a little bit, but if you really look after the tyres, you can go as late as lap 10, which opens a wealth of strategy options. You could, a little bit of contact between race fan and bum crack. But yeah, any time between now and lap 10 is probably the optimal time.
Now this is a tricky section of track, that one that Race Fan was just going through, because you can just have the throttle on a little bit too long and your understeer almost into the sand trap there. Well, we just seen a touch there from Datsun onto the back of Race Fan. Let's see if we can grab that on a replay. Just coming into the corner, what I was just talking about is a little bit too much brake. Bit of understeer into the corner. Boink! There you go.
And TJM's got past Ghost.
We missed it. Let's see if we can grab that one too.
Oh, Ghost just want to have a conversation though.
Just up the inside. Before you head down onto the back straight. Stickers is getting every little bit as close now. Alright. Now what's Ghost do? Does he try and stay with TJ? TJ just trying to make a gap. Stickers is in. There we go.
First man to blink.
A little bit early. Maybe they're trying for an undercut. I think you probably want to try and get past your halfway mark for your pit stop, unless you're planning on having worse tyres than the first stint by the end of the second stint. Shies are in third. What's happened to Jim Bob? Jim Bob got around Shies before, so Jim Bob's made a mistake somewhere. Race Fan up into fifth.
Great result so far.
Womble says TJ for the undercut. Dadson up to sixth, so we're starting to see a little bit of the pit strategies come into play. Sandman in seventh. There you go, fan club. The P1 and P2 are definitely not maintaining a 1.5 metre distance. VF certainly, wouldn't say dropped off the pace, but he hasn't had his normal results of late.
Oh.
He's understeering through the corner there. Seems he's just struggling with the BMW in the back end of the series.
His tyres are better though than Sandman in front.
Kazi one still down in ninth. Now, I believe this is Kazi's last race for you blokes.
Yeah, it is. He will be moving on to Red Mist Racing, and as a little tribute on Race Fan's car, along with our M6s, there's a little thank you Kazi decal. It's on the back of the Race Fan car and on the front of Morgan's and myself. So we hope he does really, really well at Red Mist. We hate to see him leave, but you know, wheel keeps turning. D-Jam and Ghost are in. Alright,
so what's the fuel numbers look like now? So Ghost with 47. TJ with a little bit of a better fuel save. Nothing in it, but Shizer with the best, 49. There you go. Alright, so who we got? We will see. Stickers will be the first of the pit stoppers.
First of the pitters.
He's down in ninth. No, he's not. He's in
P3 now.
So where's Stickers go? Does he get around Ghost? I tell you what, he's made some ground up though. They're out the inside. He's going to have warm tyres. Oh, he goes for the undercut.
Oh. Airborne's wanting to have a look as well.
Now,
great outlap though by Stickers.
Can you give us
56.2 outlap?
Can you give us some fuel numbers for top three, please? Because it looks like TJ might have short-filled here.
He did. He's under half a tank, but he's made a big gap. 4 seconds. Ghost is over half a tank, and Stickers is actually on half a tank. Airborne is about the same as TJ. He's underfilled a little bit, so he's going for track position. Shizer has also got just over half a tank. Jimmy Superfly's just come out, about half a tank as well, so they're looking about half to 3/4. Bumcrack's actually got 2/3 of a tank here, so he can just push right to the very end. Same with Jim Bob and Race Fan.
Well, Mr. Bumcrack does have a fair bit of a gap to make up. The Sandman down in 10th. I was expecting Sandman a little bit further up because when he's on, he's fast, but he's been working pretty hard this week, I think, with he's had to do a bit of a stock take.
big bite out of the corner there, and he's got an
Got
invoice
it.
for it.
Got an invoice.
Half a second.
Now, what does Ghost do? Does Ghost just let TJ do what he wants, race his own race? He's got Superfly down in 6th, so he's got Superfly covered points at the moment. Do you just look after the car? I don't think Stickers is going to catch him in any kind of points from where they're sitting.
Stickers and Airborne, though, having a fight in the main straight for the final spot on the podium.
Oh, Airborne. Big lunge up the inside, but he makes it work. Now he's got to watch his fuel because he's underfilled, hasn't he? Just a little bit.
Yes, he has. He's on a third of a tank right now. Stickers has just hit under a quarter. Yeah, Ghost has got half a tank in response, and T-Jam's actually starting to pull a little bit of a fuel save here.
Shout out to Shizer, he's still in 5th. We're in the 2nd stint now. He's got Superfly tracking him down, but he's holding his own at the moment. I met Shizer a few years back in one of the Queensland versus New South Wales race days we had. Well, I should say State of Origins. Superfly in 6th. Mr. Bumcrack in 7th. So Jim Bob's dropped off the pace here. He was up to 4th at one stage. I think that might have been through pits.
All over him too.
He does. Trading paint as we speak.
A beautiful limerick green, as I like to call it.
Alright, who we got here? Dadson. He's got around Sandman for 10th. So Sandman's dropped back to 11th. Definitely not where he wanted to be. VF in 12th. Now, I was just saying earlier about VF's racing of late. Seems to have dropped off a little bit in the pace-wise, but we've got a whole new season after
and Jim
tonight.
Bob having a big argument. Race fan's got it done. Just going through NGK. Jim Bob's going to fight back.
Bit of Days of Thunder going on now.
Straight up drag race. Head to Yokohama.
Jimmy's going to have the inside line. I tell you what, race fans holding it right out.
Oh, there's a bit of bumping and grinding through the Mercedes arena.
That's some good driving from race fan. That's holding his own line to the inside there, keeping Jimmy out, keeping him honest.
Good clean racing between the two as well. Staple of what we do at Sector 1.
Let's jump on board with race fan.
Airborne's caught right up to the back of Ghost.
This is not well. A little bit of tyre spin coming out of the corner. Alright. Let's see where Ghost is. Sorry.
Airborne actually took the fastest lap of the race last lap with a 1:57.785. Hounding the back of Ghost.
That's alright. I think Airborne will... He's definitely found his way up the front, and just the short fill allowed him to get the advantage over maybe a bit of a bad spot he was sitting in the field, and just being able to run that little bit of extra pace is just giving him a bit more of the way he can drive.
Keep an eye on him for fuel though, because he's short filled and he's pushing quite intensely. He's only got a quarter of a tank. Quarter of a tank in 7 minutes. Gonna be touch and go.
How's TJ looking for fuel?
TJ is just under a third of a tank. He's actually been able to manage to pull a gap. He's actually got the fastest lap of the race now with a 1:57.5. Oh, yucky.
Well, this is the way you want your championship to end, and he's taking it with 2 hands as we speak. A little bit of a mistake there from Airborne. Allowing Ghost to pull away. Here comes Stickers. He's closed the gap to Airborne.
It's a big statement that Airborne's making at the moment. Come to play.
Well, we knew he was fast, but he hasn't had all his own way. I mean, he's now playing with the likes of Ghost and TJ, and that's no mean feat.
Fighting with our top 2 championship contenders. Clean through the Schumacher S.
Superfly down in 6th now, so he's not coming to terms with this, or coming to grips with this track, I should say. He looks a little bit out of wanting to steer everywhere. Mr. Bumcrack would be in 7th.
Just looking at Jimmy Superfly's front left tyre now, and it is looking a bit sad compared to everyone else around him. Definitely used a lot of that front end. Ghost has still got over a quarter of a tank, so he's got a little bit more fuel compared to T-Jam and Airborne. Diggers are starting to catch the both of them.
So what might happen here is, well, TJ's pulled out to nearly 5 seconds, so you can pretty much say he's done and dusted for the race. He can almost cruise home from here, even though there's still 5 minutes to go. He'll be loving this gap at least. No stress. Ghost and Airborne still fighting it out.
Said he in his little essay before that he just wanted to go out there and do the best he could. Did T-Jam?
That he did. But he also said he didn't want to go for the outright win, which he's claiming false now. Shizer still in 5th. Great race from Shizer.
Come along leaps and bounds the last few seasons as Shizer really showing great pace.
Mr. Bumcrack in 7th. Jim Bob sitting back in 8th, so he's got back around race fan. They were having a little bit of a tussle.
Did his fastest lap of the race as well with a 1:58.1, so he's got good pace towards the end of this race.
Race fan in 9th. Datson's like just sticks around that 10th position, doesn't he?
He's got clawed all over his rear bumper. Yeah, right behind the pair of them.
So Claude driving on the new direct drive.
Juicy. Quite jealous actually. Those direct drive wheels are fantastic.
Oh, Claude is just throwing everything at it to keep up with Datsun. Late braking, understeering through the corner.
Airborne's on the back of Ghost again. Ghost ran a little bit wide going into Castrol Curve. Oh. Problem for Airborne right now is he's very, very low on fuel. He's almost about to hit the fuel light. Whereas Ghost is home and hosed for fuel.
So Ghost can start putting his foot down. As what we can see here, the gap hasn't really opened up much further. We've probably got 2 more laps. If Ghost puts his foot down, what's TJ like on fuel? Has he got enough?
Yeah, he's saved a little bit more. In fact, Airborne's just hit the fuel light.
So he's going to have to stop again.
Either that or fuel save maximum, but it doesn't look like he is. I think he's going Jamie Whincup style at the moment. He's definitely looking at Ghost.
Well, you'd just be short shifting the hell out of that thing now if your fuel light's on and you've still got 2 minutes 20 to go.
Tell you what, if he runs out of fuel, he's welcome to Deeds Racing anytime. cracked caught the back of Jimmy Superfly as well.
Ah, that's right. Diego just mentions in the chat there. There's a special livery for the Dadsons. Dadson's liveries tonight from Stickers and Diego. I believe it's on the roof. I don't know if we're in the quarter panel. And I believe it says thank you for being part of Dadson. There you go. Kind of see it
had
there.
A penalty to burn.
Race fan, where's Race fan? He must be down in ninth.
Just up the front now, and Airborne's pushing like mad, right on the back of Ghost here.
I don't know if you want to be pushing when you're on the fuel light, but
Oh,
Ghost has got all the fuel he needs. He can just start the push now and maintain that gap. So TJ
this is
down
going to be very, very tight. Oh,
still at 4.8 to 5 seconds. I don't think Airborne will make a move. I mean, you're toying with the championship leaders. There we go. Commentator's curse 101.
up the inside of Dunlop curve. Ghost is going to get the elbows out. Old school.
They've got 40 seconds, I think. This could be the last lap. Not sure if they'll get past the start-finish line with 40 seconds to go, 35 seconds.
Going to be tight. They have to do another lap. Airborne's going to run out of fuel.
26 seconds, and we got TJ coming up to the last of the S's. I'll tell you what, I reckon TJ might get his own victory lap here.
If he does, he's earned it.
Here we go. He's come in from the Community Series, I think, this season. And he's taken the top step of Group A. Well done, TJ. Second will be Ghost. Followed by Airborne. Followed by...
Just got there on a smell of an oily rag.
Stickers in 5th. Shizer home for 5th. Jimmy Superfly for 6th. Mr. Bumcrack for 7th. Jim Bob for 8th. Race Fan for 9th. Dadson for 10th. Sandman for 11th. VF brings home 12th. Magnet for 13th. And the crazy one will round out the top 14. TJ with the fastest lap of a 1:57.5.
And our S1 M4 Series champion.
There you have it.
Congratulations. What a race.
I tell you what, he will be one happy chap tonight.
Team 53 boys are very, very happy.
Now,
NASCAR's loving.
not sure where that puts into the what are you? Sorry,
Team's title.
Teams championship. Yeah, so it's. We can probably go quickly to have a look at the team's title here. I just got to get me buttons right. What have we got here? Teams points. So, yeah, I don't know if you probably didn't have enough of a gap there. One place isn't going to net you 8 points, I don't believe. So, I think we could almost say that we might have won this championship, but I'm not going to say that because we will wait for all the penalties to be applied, or if there's penalties, and all the points to be applied proper.
And there's one more bullet in the gun left for Team 53, so it's not over till the fat lady sings, but yeah,
No,
might
and
be humming a few bars.
there's also Chuck, who's going to be racing next week in Group B. So he's going to bring some more points to his own team.
Drive of the day for that one.
Drive of the day, yes, that's where I was going to go with that. Drive of the day. I'm pretty certain I'm going to give that to Shizer. I think sticking up the front in 5th or 4th or 5th, perfect race for him.
I'm going to agree with you. He drove a fantastic race. He qualified well, drove clean. He's improved out of sight over the last couple of seasons. Great job by Shizer tonight.
So TJ's taken out the top step of the M4 Championship, and I think he'll be pleasantly pleased with his race as well tonight. I don't think he was going into the race looking for a win, but he definitely came out with one and top of the ladder. Let me save this replay.
That's been one fantastic season. Congratulations, boys. You've raced very, very well, very fair. Yeah, big congratulations to TGM and the guys at Team 53. Absolutely wrapped with that in the chat.
Yep.
Just looking at the chat now.
Well, he's put a few of the fast guys behind him this season, just in some of the results that he's had. So he's definitely earned his top spot, and he's been pretty good. He started off a little bit, maybe coming out of the community series, maybe a little bit sketchy with the drivers, but probably driving style. But he's definitely pulled the reins up and become one real good driver. And where's he moving next season? I think TJ is going to.
He's going up to the main championship, and I believe it's no real secret really that he's going to Red Mist Racing for next season. They're going to have a very, very strong lineup. They have, the new M4 champion, TJam. They've also got Adam staying another season, and then the crazy ones moving unfortunately from Deeds Racing, joining over to the Red Mist squad. So keep an eye on the Red Mist boys for next season. They're going to be a very hard team to beat, and TJam's also proven earlier in the season that he can run with these guys in the higher tiers as well. At Maggiore, he finished P2. Just behind Artie Thump and had a battle with Artie and myself in that crazy, absolute fist fight. He's ready.
All right, so I'm going to make my way over to the M6 room. We're going to try and get Lucas back in the box. Are you there, Lucas?
G'day.
Well, that was one way to finish the championship with a 5-second lead.
Yeah, well, he didn't put any fuel in either. He got that all the way home with one tank, so
yeah,
all the power to him for running that kind of risk when you're in the championship fight. I would have probably chucked some fuel in it and made sure I got home, but no, he knew what he was doing, so well done.
So now tonight, coming into the M6s, we have another important battle. We have TX3. Hang on, let me bring up the points. M6 points. We have TX3 sitting in first place for Ragged Edge Racing on 129 points, and Morgan Davies for Deeds Racing 1 point behind, 128, and Brocky. Now Brocky may be pretty well out of probably the running for a top spot, but anything can happen. If these two in the front disconnect, it's his, but let's hope not.
He's a mathematical chance. If they have a really bad night, then he's there, but again too, he'll be there as well as Corky as well. Those kind of guys are always going to stick their hands in the cookie jar here when it comes to fastest laps and pole position points and stuff like that. So a lot to play out still for these guys tonight.
Yeah. What do we do here? We go to the team points. So I'm pretty happy with our team's efforts this season because we're top on the boards at the moment. But Ragged Edge on top with 237 points. Deeds following closely with 225. Counterpunch in third for 218. Cornerstone for fourth. Red Mist for fifth. Death Grip for sixth. Racing Cars Like Legends and Lucky's Lawn Care for 7th and 8th. Dadson Racing for 9th. 10th is Team 53 for their first season as a new team. Blacklight off the wooden spoon. I think you were wooden spoon last year. You come off the bottom of the floor.
Woo!
CJ Esports for 12th. Obsession Motorsports for 13th. Aussie Hampton Racing for 14th. Sorry, just had to clear the airways. And now let's go to the combined points. Ragged Edge Racing on top of the ladder for both of the teams' points. So we've got the combined teams' points well in good shape on 467 points. Death Grip followed on 414. Counterpunch on 413. So the top three are pretty. Well, it's going to be pretty hard to catch us for the combined team points, but I mean, and like we say, anything can happen.
Yeah, that's it.
Now, no,
Then these guys out for their warm-up lap.
you're ready. I'm ready to go when you are.
Yeah, they're just about to head out for their warm-up lap. So M6s are ready to go. As we farewell the M62 for these guys. Be our second last race into the GT3 area of Sector 1.
That's the one I was looking for. So I put together a bit of a photo for the top three tonight of Brocky, Davies, and TX3 GTR, and this is their liveries and outfits for tonight. I think we're going to see one ripper of a race. Brocky,
absolutely.
Brocky doesn't have much to do with the championship. He's claimed he's not going to get in the way, but if he's going to go for a win, he's going to go for a win though. All right, let me jump onto the track.
All right, boys, I'm going to jump out of the box for a little bit. Good luck to both TX3 and Morgan, and good luck to your boys too for the M6 title as well, Troy.
Copy. See how we go. All right, here we go. We've got Captain Muffin first out of the gates, so he's in the gamesman entry for Team 53. Keep getting them mixed up. D-Flow in second for the chill out systems. Speedytyres in third for the GT Light for Counterpunch. Cornerstone, one of the two.
Counterpunch.
I got it right the first time.
Sure with this one? You right with this one?
TX3, yes. He is Ragged Edge Racing in the Auto 1 entry. Top of the championship. Going to be giving it everything tonight. Mountain Goat in fifth in the Erebus for Death Grip Racing. Diego down in sixth. Diego's running the special livery tonight for the Dadson boys. They got the thank you on the quarter panels and the roof. Ricky Bobby for Obsession Motorsports in the Team R cars. Black Project for Paneski and Blacklight Motorsports. Scooter 82, the second of the Bacchus liveries for Dadson Racing. Down in 10th we've got Gaz Balls, second of the Death Grip cars tonight for Erebus, with the Erebus liveries. And FSR Corky, also known as that's just stumped me.
DB007.
DB007, that's the word I was looking for. Brocky down in 12th.
He's,
Adam.
Yeah,
sorry, Adam for
right.
Green Beacon, Red Mist Racing, and Morgan Davie's running the Oat Cream Jam Juice Deeds. Looks good though.
Oat cream juice train, that one.
Jam juice.
Jam juice.
It's an oat cream hazy IPA, or double IPA if I remember correctly. Limited run version of Morgan's favourite brewery and favourite beer, the Juice Train. So, Good Doc has whipped up something special for us tonight in regards to that one, and being gold, it's going to give him a little bit more motivation.
Righto, Lucas, what kind of times are we expecting first out?
Well, these cars here are extremely fast at this circuit here. Coming from M4 land with the, what was the time there? 57 seconds?
57.5.
These guys are smashing in the low 54s to start off with. I've seen some 53-second flying laps as well, so these are very, very quick cars tonight.
Well, D-Flow is going to be the first one out. I know what D-Flow can run, and it is definitely in the 50s.
It's a 51.
51.4.
51.4.
51.5 for Captain Muffin.
TX3 is going to go to the top with a 50.8. Oh, Mountain Goat right behind him. On Mountain Goat 2, the young man was Corky and Brocky go to second and third respectively. He was late into the lobby tonight, missed the test starts. He's got a 2 grid spot penalty tonight, unfortunately, which will be handed down after qualifying finishes. So it'll be a very quick red flag, and then away we go.
Well, how did Morgan end up 10th? He doesn't like his first laps, does he? We've seen this to the last round. He was 14th right up until the second last lap.
He does that.
So Ricky Bobby and Gazball struggled in the last couple of rounds as well. Can they pull something together tonight? Black Project down in 12th.
Slipped into the top 14 on call up here at the moment, so we're pretty happy over at Black Light here for him just to finish in the top 14 again tonight. It's all good kilometres for him, so no pressure for him at all tonight.
Adam down in 14th. Now Adam's 4th in the championship, I think, and 14th as we speak. So he needs. He'll be fuel burning.
Okay, so championship standings at the moment, obviously it's TX3 from Morgan Davie by 1 point. Then it's Cyborg on 112. Corgi and Speedytyres are tied on 109. And then Atom is in 6th position on 108. So that 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, 5th and 6th position could change quite dramatically in this race.
Yep.
As you saw one peel off into the pits there, TX3's in the pits.
Corgi's in the pits. Brocky stays out. Brocky might be on a good lap here. Diego runs a 151.6. Puts into 8th.
P8.
Brocky doesn't improve.
Yes, again. Oh, he's getting close to knocking up on Corgi's door though. It's a .022 gap now for P2 and 3.
I think that might be Gazballs that might be following Brocky there. So they've really struggled in the M6 this season, Gazballs and Ricky Bobby, and it's kind of hard to see. They've always been one of the people to beat.
I think Gaz is just warming himself back up, coming back into the championship this season.
Yeah.
And
well, we know he's going to go good in the Group 4s.
Yeah, that's what I was about to get to. He's very quick in a Group 4 car, so I think that's more his sort of wheelhouse.
Right, Davies, what can he do? He's only got to make 1 point up, so you don't want to be pushing this race, even if you're racing TX3, because one person comes off, it could take the other one off, and you could both lose out of the situation. Who's TX3 got behind him? He's got, looks like Diego. Could be Scooter. It might be Scooter actually. We'll go back to 6th.
Scooter.
Scooter might get a good tow here. I believe TX3's on his outlap.
They both are.
So this is probably the first round we've seen Corgi up the top end too, in qualifying this early.
Well, I haven't spoken to him a fair bit the last couple of weeks. He's actually been moving house, so he's only just sort of got himself resettled and reset back up. So I expect to see him sort of back up the pointy end where we've seen him in the past, and he's sort of settled himself back in.
Yep. Well, he was always, especially when he was driving that Lamborghini, just throwing out mega lap times and catching the front of the field easy.
Driving that car no one else could drive.
Yeah. Alright, so TX3 starts his fast lap now. We've probably got about 4 laps to go. He's got Goat right behind him.
One thing I've noticed so far with these guys here is on the pit exit, these guys come out with cold tyres, and every single person I've seen has just kicked the car out sideways into turn 1. So that could be a factor in the race with a couple of stops.
There we go. TX3 goes sideways out of there.
He's moved over.
Yep.
He's back out of that lap. Adam to 2nd. On his own, with nothing but clean air around him too. Look at that.
Adam with a 151 slap.
Mr. Davie. Oh, chasing that car all over the track, Davie.
Where's Davie? He'll be down in 9th. No, he's even further down.
He's 12th at the moment. He'll be starting to warm up now. He's obviously just not long gone through the pits. Fighting some oversteer in that car at the moment.
I was just about to say, I've been doing a few laps this week myself, and it's one oversteered track for this car. You can't get on the gas too early.
Especially out of here. It just binds up coming out of the hairpin. It just kicks the back out. 0.3 of a second up on his lap now. He's got to make up another 0.7 for pump. But he's going in the right direction, heading forwards.
Now I find this car harder to drive on an empty tank. Normally it was the opposite way around in the GTR. I drive pretty much one of my faster laps with a full tank, and then it takes me all qualifying to try and get a bit more out of it. Alright, TX3. So he backed out of that last lap, so this will be starting a new lap again.
Muffin goes to 5th in a bit of a lull period there for the guys. As we're hitting heavily towards happy hour at the moment, where the times will start to drop. As Corgi does a 50.9 there to solid 82nd position.
He's closed the gap. Down to 0.1. Captain Muffin stays out. Brocky in 5th, so Brocky's Speedytyres moves up to 4th. That's not a bad effort. Speedytyres 151.1.
Cyborg's pitted again. He's having a breather by the looks of it. There's not much work going on in that car at the moment in the pits. He might be trying to find himself some space. Yeah, that's it. I reckon that's what it is. Because he was in the middle of that pack. So I think he's going to back himself to go out in clear track and just get a good lap out without anyone around him.
I have the timing up for this, so I've just got it up there. So let's see how we're going.
That's it, cruising. 51.5 is currently good for, well, let's have a look where they're at. So, 51.3 is 8th, 51.4, 9th, 10th. Everybody's in the 51s except for Black Project. So, 30th position's a 51.9 there for guys that are playing home. Group B, looking at you.
Yeah, looking at me. So, I was really looking forward to racing this race tonight, but I couldn't let Claude take another night off for streaming to miss his Group A, and I'm happy to do it. So I think next week's going to be pretty interesting as well.
There's some quick cars in the race next week, though. A little bit of lobby chatter there for Corgi as well. He's going through the hairpin. I saw the cars kick sideways a bit.
TX3's in, so he's not even trying to put another lap down yet. He's just going for fresh tyres, no fuel. Corgi's in. This is going to be it's going to be tight for the top. They're both pitting, and Corgi's probably going to have a slipstream advantage if he can catch TX3 on exit.
Speedytyres has gone in as well.
What's Brocky do?
He's in a little bit of traffic still at the moment. He's just got cleared Mountain Goat there on his outlap, so he might be okay now with clean air. But Mountain Goat's going to do a good job in attacking behind him here, and he's got that 2 grid spot penalty looming above his head at the moment as well, so he needs to get a good result in qualifying. 7th so far is not going to be a good place to be. It's Morgan doing at the moment. He's going through the complex at the moment. Oh, through the arena. Sideways. Then jumps the curb.
So Morgan needs to step it up a little bit, but we know Morgan will punch his way through in the race. He's got the speed to do for race pace.
There's that, and there's also that last minute miracle lap that comes to know Morgan for now as well.
Yeah.
Where in qualifying he's sort of down in the back end of the 10 for most of the session, and then suddenly with 20 seconds to go he goes up to the top 3 or 4. So,
just the big thing as well there, boys. He's going to need the miracle lap, because don't forget in this championship there are 2 points for pole position. If he actually takes pole, he's ahead by 1 point in this championship. But if TX3 takes pole and holds his position as he does, it'll be a 3-point gap heading into this race.
that's exactly right. That's where the number crunch is going to happen. The abacuses are going to come out.
D-Flow.
Where's D-Flow there?
Up to 6th.
P6. This is the territory of Ghost normally with the abacus out. Ricky Bobby and
Diego up into 4th.
As well. Great lap from Diego.
Gazball's a 151.6, so he's still running a little bit.
Here we go.
Corgi's off.
Cyborg here's Cyborg's purple, guys, as he heads towards the final chicane. He could be here to spoil the party for TX3. Scooter goes to 6th. Into the final turn.
No, TX3 was on his outlap. Where's Brocky?
Cyborg.
7th.
To the line.
What's he got? 150.6.
What lap. Mountain Goat behind him as well, improved slightly, but not by much. He's 9th at the moment. He needs to do some work here, the kid. Otherwise, he's going to be back out of the 10 for the race start.
I tell you what, you're looking at TX3 now, and just bringing up them vitals that Brent was talking about. Them 2 points play in that part.
This is Davie's got to put the foot down. P12 is not where you want to start the race.
It's hard to see the sectors on this track. Looks like TX3 behind him sliding out of that hairpin.
Cars are very loose at the moment. They're on their final lap.
Yep, so Morgan, he's 3.3 behind.
He's in trouble. He's in real trouble.
So he's starting, hopefully, a bit better than 12 if he can make up some points, but that's not where he wanted to start.
On to D-Flow there to third. Great bit of work there from D-Flow to get himself back up onto the second row.
150.9. He's going to keep an eye on.
Corgie's on his best split so far through 2 and through 3. He's in track to knock off D-Flow, maybe TX3 as well. TX3 not far behind him on the track as well through the chicane.
Alright, TX3
just in front of him, sorry.
Just coming up to the finish line now. Corgi ahead of TX3. No, TX3 come off.
No,
sorry.
TX3's in front of him.
If Corgi come off. What's TX3 got? Can he make it any better?
He needs to improve, otherwise he's going to drop.
No,
he doesn't
half a second behind.
Where's Corgi? Corgi goes to third. Cyborg to the line. Goes better again. 156.25 there. To really put a stamp on this one. Now where's Morgan?
So Morgan was down in 12.
He's done.
Yeah, he was done, yeah.
He's finished. I'll just let these guys know we're going to red flag the race.
So that's not how Morgan wanted to start this last race. 1 point in it. Speedy Tyres moves himself to second.
Oh, nice work from Speedy. I'm just going to quickly grab that. I think I got it.
Jump into the slideshow. Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. That has definitely not the start Morgan wanted, but it's definitely put 2 of the CP boys up the front, hasn't it?
Well,
3
out of the 4 top spots are CP cars.
I had to say that, yeah.
Well, that's probably saved Morgan a little bit there, to be perfectly honest, because I tell you what, if TX3 had got pole position, it would have been all but over. And with the CP boys coming through in the end and sort of sorting that out for him, I think that's saved his bacon a little bit.
Alright, so Adam just flies through the field as we're watching it. You can't see it, but we can.
Yeah, they're just practicing the demolition derby into turn 1.
Alright, so we got community series, I believe, coming up this week, Thursday.
Yep.
And that will be the last one for the season as well.
Oh, we've got guys leaving the room here at the moment. That's not a good sign.
No.
Just trying to do some more number crunching here down at the Obsession Pit Bay at the moment, boys. Brocky's lap definitely has saved Morgan quite a bit, so the gap stays at 1 point, which means that, long story short, if Morgan was to finish 3rd and TX3 was to finish 4th, the points would be a tie. That'd be massive, so...
Right, I'm just going to wait for some guys to get back in here. So half the cars have left the room, unfortunately, so I'm going to need a couple of minutes to get these guys organised.
Alright, so in the chat we have Cruisin', TJ, Dadson, Mr. Scotty Gibbs himself, and the Ghost. How are we, boys? Congratulations on the win there, TJ. That's one in the bag for Team 53.
We got lobby crashes from these guys. Their games are all crashing, so we're just going to wait for a couple of them to get back in.
We don't have the Olympic.
Meantime, boys, I'm just about to think. Any predictions for this race? Like anything? Top
TX3 for the win. Brocky second. Yeah, I don't know. I think with the pace Brocky was just showing then, he's definitely got a hold of the the BMW, the M6 at the end towards the end of this season anyway. So I reckon Speedy Tyres and Corgi, they got every little bit to do with a win here as well, with the speed that Speedy Tyres just put in to go second, sorry. But I think that's just taken probably a lot of relief off TX3's shoulders there, seeing Morgan back down in 12th. But I tell you what, Morgan's head would be fuming right now.
Yep. But we have seen him come from that far back before to be in the top 3, so anything can happen yet.
Last time he raced here, he started 14th and finished 4th back in the Lexus GT3 days as well, so not beyond him to do this.
No, it's
just
not.
Setting the grid now, gents.
But I tell you what, when you got the likes of Brocky, Speedy Tyres, TX3, Corgi, I mean, they're probably most likely going to gap the field in the first few laps a little bit, and that's what's going to make it hard to catch up. And being stuck in that traffic, even if you can save fuel and pass them in your pit stops, you've got a big gap to make up. But then again, once you're through the first corner, you're only a few seconds behind. So if you can save up the fuel, make some moves, it is possible.
Alright, I've almost got the grid for you guys. Alright, so I've just got a...
Scooter says,
up, down, mountain goat.
Me in 8th place. I love Hate Story. So he always ends up in 8th place, doesn't he?
Alright, so the grid for you guys tonight. So off the front row, you have the Cyborg and Speedy Tyres for a CP lockout once again. TX3 GDR starts his final race of the championship out of P3, puts him in a really good position for the championship win. Corgi starting on the outside of row 2 there, right beside him. Definitely in a shot for tonight's win. Defo there with another strong performance out of 5th with Adam right beside him. Adam is a proven race winner as well, so he's going to be strong out of 6th. Diego from 7th, great qualifying there with his teammate and no good mate there, Scooter, right beside him there in the 2 Bacchus cars. Out of 9, we've got Captain Muffin with Ricky Bobby right beside him, so Ricky Bobby qualifies in the 10th. Mount Goat, after a 2 grid spot penalty, puts him back to 11th right beside Mr. Davie, so those guys have got some work to do. Gazball's there in 11th with Black Project RX7 starting from the back, but we are ready to go racing.
Just give me 2 seconds, Lucas, before you hit the button. Because I just thought of something. If I bring up the combined points here, 3 cars in the top 4 of Counterpunch. 2 cars. This could be some well-earned points towards the team's championship. They are 50 points behind. But anyway, ready to go racing when you are.
Alrighty, let's do this. M6s for the final time for Group A from Germany.
Alright, here we go. Let me just bring up... last time around for the season. I suppose I should bring it up on screen, that would help even more. There we go. Alright. Let's go. P4 on the bonnet. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. There's a pause and we're racing.
All the way.
All TX3s.
Cyberg.
Oh, this could come ugly.
Tries around the outside.
Outside's not a
Oh,
bad.
one's around. Captain Muffin's gone. Adam's gone as well. Gonna go to the back. Just keep an eye on this one. Morgan Davie. He's got shuffled out of that as well. He's back in 12th. Black Project with a huge jump up through the back of the field to 9th in that bit of confusion in turn 1. Just looking at Davie's cars carrying damage on the front end slightly. There's some massive scrape marks down the side of that car as he's rubbing against the scooter. I don't know if you can see him.
I can, yeah. I can see a bit of a glitch happening there. He wants to get away from that.
Hopefully that sorts itself out.
Trying to find him. Here we go. Oh no.
One of those cars isn't invisible for the other one, I think. That's a shame.
Yep.
Hopefully no one crashes the lobby though.
It looks like they've sorted themselves out now.
Fingers crossed, boys.
That's not where Morgan Davies wanted to be. That would have been the butt-puckering moment he didn't want. Okay, back up the front. Cyborg, half a second lead already. Perfect position for TX3 to jump into second. Cyborg is powering on right now. He's just got a little bit of a toe now from TX3, but was pulling away. Speedytyres in third. TX3's jumped a spot here off the first lap. Probably snatching Speedytyres for second. Diego up to fourth, so he's got around Corgi as well.
He's doing a great job, Diego. Big race for him. Who's his teammate? Scooter's dropped a lot of spots. He's 12th.
Scooter might have got caught up in that first lap incident. I couldn't get the buttons quick enough to get a replay.
I think he might have been the one that got caught up with Captain Muffin, because a couple of those cars in that front part of the pack got turned around in front of the field, and that's what ended up being the problem for Atom, and then Morgan Davie also got involved in it as well, but I think that was more along the lines of the cars were spinning across the pack. Morgan's car's got lots of panel damage on it. I don't think it's a straight panel on that car anymore.
I'll tell you
so
what,
much for the new livery.
He's got around the Erebus Motorsports and Bacchus at the back of the pack there. He's sitting in 10th. He's got a few spots to make up yet. And the worst part is, his rival that he needed to get ahead of is in second spot behind Brocky. It does look a bit second-hand, that car on the driver's side. I should say the passenger side on that one.
TX3 starting to close up on the Cyborg here too, guys, so he's definitely putting the foot down. As they're breaking away from Speedytyres, the top two are just pulling away from the field. Corgi's got back around Diego as well, so it's actually a counterpunch, second and third position, third and fourth, sorry, on the road at the moment. Really stumping on that CP dominance at the moment. And Ricky Bobby, great start from him so far out of 10th. He's now 7th on the road, tucked in behind the Kid Mountain Goat, who's actually made up a lot of spaces off the... He was as far back as 11th off the start, so he's 6th.
Yeah.
D-Flow's done a big drop back down the field as well. He's currently 8th at the moment. He was off row 2. So there's been a lot of shuffle in that first lap down into turn 1.
So we'll probably see TX3 goes fastest of the 151.4. And that's a pretty fast opening lap. I shouldn't say opening lap. We're on the third lap. Corgi.
Mountain Goat on Diego as well, behind him. And Ricky Bobby, the opportunist, tries to go as well. Going to go for the crisscross. Ricky Bobby's starting to find that form again now that he was in the Ferrari, where he was really quick towards the end of the season. He's just starting to find that again now, so hopefully he can carry that through to the GT4s next season in the Touring Car Championship.
I think we'll see Ricky Bobby come back alive in the GT4. I think we'll see a lot of people come back alive. I suppose the other thing we did too was we changed the weight ballast a couple of races ago, so it was another learning curve.
Davey's now 9th. He's just jumped Black Project and he's on the back of D-Flow now. Not sure how much effort D-Flow's going to make it trying to cover. He doesn't make much at all. Lets him down the inside. D-Flow knows what's up.
Alright, so
now 8th Morgan Davie.
TX3 is not that far ahead in the scope of things. Only a couple of seconds,
really.
4 seconds in it.
He's tucked up behind the Cyborg at the moment, and the Cyborg's come on record this week and said he's not going to make much of a hindrance to the championship. If those two guys are fighting, he'll step out of the way and let them do their thing. But at the moment, he's leading the way, so we'll see how it goes.
Now, I know TX3 doesn't probably think like we do. He will know his car, he'll know he's driving. And if that was me, I'd be sitting behind Brocky knowing he can pull the lap times.
Oh. Morgan Davie's just made a move on Diego as well, so he's now 7th. He's pushing through the field at the moment. Jumped him at the chicane. So now he's got Ricky Bobby to deal with. So he's definitely on the move, Davie, at the moment, currently P7. You can see TX3 up in the distance there.
Yeah.
He just does a 51.42, so it was almost as fast to knock off TX3's fastest lap. That would have been perfect.
So he's making some moves. Here goes D-Flow.
That's a big try into turn 1 there. That's a big dive to make it to turn 1.
Yeah, it's hairy too when you go off that little bit of a lip for the hard right.
That's right, there go. Mr. Brewer there. I just on Ricky Bobby a second ago. He's now 6th on the road, so he's on over the back of the kid as well, so he might be able to make a move here as Davie starts to close in on them. Definitely come alive in this M6 now though, Ricky Bobby. Seasoned campaigner for Sector 1 as well. Been around for a very long time now. Used to race for Blacklight back in the day.
So this is where Ricky Bobby should still excel in. He's looks after his car really well. So being in the pack, you come out. You by the end of the stint, you should be able to start driving around some people.
This battle for the lead's about to get interesting. Corgi is just taking chunks out of these leaders. Currently, he's now 3rd. I think you're right there, Ghost. There's some glitchy cars tonight. The internet's not playing our favourite game with us tonight, unfortunately. As Morgan Davie's purple through Sector 2 as well. Sector 3, sorry, that was.
Here we go.
On the run up the back straight now. Let's have a look at Ricky Bobby. Oh, no, not quite. Ricky Bobby covers him off. I think TX3 is looking at Ricky Bobby coming up the field now. Wants to make a move and get on with this.
Ten Davie's come up through the field.
Oh, yeah, you just got Ricky Bobby in the background there as well, running into the final turn. That's P7. P6, sorry.
Here we go, TX3's going for the inside.
Yep, make a move now, he says. I've got to get on with this, I've got to go. Cyborg, though, tries to crisscross, not going to happen.
I tell you what, he's going to have to put his foot down with the way that Morgan Davies is driving. But he does have lap traffic to come through, Morgan. It's going to be his biggest hindrance, but he's definitely sliced them up so far, and we're only on lap 5.
He's working the car hard to get up there, Mr. Davie, but he is making moves. He's definitely within contention now. He's only 2.5 seconds off the lead of the race.
I tell you what, they're pushing the limits of these track limits. They're running really wide out of that first chicane area.
Yes, now Sean, I agree with you there. You just got to get on with it now. TX3 is going to get on with this and just get moving now, but he's got the Cyborg there sitting in a very close tow. And Corgi as well, who actually is racing the Cyborg for 3rd in the championship at the moment. There's not much between these guys. Pretty sure it's only a couple of points, if that. You have a double check. It's 3 points between Corgi and Cyborg for position 3 in the championship, so he'd want to make a move here and get up to 2nd position.
Well, I was speaking to Brocky earlier in the week. He said that he doesn't plan on helping decide who wins this championship, so he's going to stay out of it. But if he has winning pace, he's going to be going for it.
Oh. Just another little tidbit there, guys. Mountain Goat just indicated for Morgan and let him through, so Morgan's now 5th. So a bit of inter-team cooperation there between Death Grip Racing and Deeds Racing there, as Mountain Goat just lets him go through. Oh, car, we've got postal in the background there. I don't know which one it is. It's
one of the backers' cars.
Oh yeah, heavy damage all over that. So
I can guarantee that would be Scooter because he's been having trouble all week. All day. Seems to be missing too, Scooter.
I can see him still. He's currently 12th on the road for me, but I don't see him finishing the race if this keeps going. I'll keep an eye on it, but if it gets to the point where he ends up hindering someone else, I'm going to have to black flag him.
So he nearly pulled out of today's race. His internet wasn't working, but he's used a mate's phone to hotspot, so good on him for giving it a go.
Absolutely.
Right, so Brocky's still hanging around right on the back of TX3. So is Corgi on the back of Brocky. Davie's up to 4th. He's got around Speedytyres.
They're not making it hard for him, are they?
How much of the car is he using though? Is it going to be a big difference come to the first end of the first stint?
Let's double check on that for you, mate. He's no worse off than the rest of them. That's a dream drive for him through the field. He's not used the car at all compared to everybody else. And he's there. He's 2 and a bit seconds off the back of Corgi for the front pack.
Yeah.
He can put together a couple of quick laps here now and you catch these guys up.
So we're probably going to see, what are we at now, 40 minutes, the next 2 or 3 laps they'll be in. His car's looking really loose though. So's Ricky Bobby's. Ricky Bobby down in 7th.
Scooter 82's just on, I'll recap, he's drifted down to 12th position at the moment. He's currently battling Gazballs. I'm just keeping an eye on him for a little bit here to make sure that... I don't think the other guys can see him.
There we go, just seen it on stream now. Driving along the straight and then smashes into the fence. Then back onto the track.
I'll just watch him for this next lap and just keep an eye on it.
So we've got Adam down at 13th as well, so that's not the race he wanted. Now
he got caught up in that big accident, yeah.
Yep.
Captain Muffin right behind him were both involved in that.
And this is what happens when you're with the Group A pace too. I mean, once you fall off, you're not catching them back up unless your name's Morgan Davie, who's doing a great job of it tonight.
Well, that said, though, Adam and Captain Muffin actually have pulled a couple of seconds in on the back of the field, so they're almost in touch with these back markers now. So they could have a realistic chance to be back inside the 10 by the end of the race. There's 37 minutes to go, so plenty of time for them to keep their head down and get themselves back in the race.
So we're probably up to we're at lap 7 now, and are the lap times still in the 51s, or are we drifting off to the 52s now?
So the leaders are...
Actually, I can bring that up.
51s, 52s there for Brocky, 52s for Corky. So TX3 is the only one still in the 51s.
Yes, I can bring that up. I forgot I have a button that does that. So 151.98, the last lap time for TX3, Brocky. A 152.3 the last time around. And he's got Corgi all over the back of him. And Corgi runs a 152.1, so Corgi just slightly got the bit of a better advantage. So, and Morgan Davie is in 4th. Let's give him a lap time. Right, so yeah, as you were saying, TX3 is definitely the only one in the 51s at the moment. And it does look like... Where are we going with that?
I was just watching this back end of the field at the moment, just keeping an eye on Scooter for a couple of laps just to make sure that he's not hindering anyone else's races. I was just watching the Black Project and Gazball's battle just in front of him, which is getting pretty hot and heavy between those two.
That'll be down
down at the pits here, boys, just with the Dadson Racing crew, and the reason, a little bit of an alternator issue at the moment, so it's drawing less power, and the Racing Cars Like Legends crew are also noticing that as well.
Well, you don't want that mid-race.
Ghost is giving Corgi a new nickname. Oh dear. I think Scooter's just done 2 laps without glitching at all, so I'll keep an eye on it throughout the race, but so far so good for him. I think he might have got away with it.
Does it look like... I mean, it looks like Brocky's just staying with TX3 now. They seem to be running the same kind of numbers as well with Corgi. So, and they're not really pulling away now. Morgan's got the gap down to 2 seconds.
Yeah, Corgi's just there now as well, so he's just using a little bit of fuel save time now behind the 2 leaders. Oh, hang on, Corgi's in, so he's the first to blink.
Alright, what's Morgan do? Morgan stay out. Morgan stays out. Speedytyres stays out. So let's keep that eye on that number. Corgi with a 36 litres. Mountain Goat.
Is there anyone to pit? Oh, and Scooter's got in as well. I'll keep an eye on Scooter through the pits because this will be the telling moment for his connection.
Just keeping that gap consistent up the front with about half a second to Brocky. Brocky will be loving this. He hasn't had the best of seasons this one, but he's come home strong in the back end. Davey's in 3rd now. He's 2.5 seconds off Brocky. And
now that he hasn't got a toe, he's finding it harder to catch up to them, but he's got himself close enough now to be a pest towards the back end of the race.
Great job for Speedy in 4th. Qualified 2nd.
Scooter watching, got through the pits without much of an issue there, so he's currently 14th and quite a distance off the back at the moment, so he might I might be able to leave him in. Just let him do his thing.
Oh, Ricky Bobby. Starting to look a little bit loose coming out of the corners now.
Yeah, he's worked those rear tyres in that one pretty good. They're on the canvas straps at the moment.
Diego down in 8th. Gazball still hanging around that 9th. Black Project in 10th, so he's got his top 10 at the moment.
Adam's caught right up now, though. He was a couple of seconds off the back of these guys, so this is legitimately caught up from Adam to the back of the top 10. So good recovery so far from him. That's put him in contention to be anywhere in the top 10 now, short of maybe the podium.
Right,
but anywhere up to say where Morgan is, he's got a good chance of catching up to as he gets the slipstream through these guys.
Well, I tell you what, I believe TX3 and Brocky were running the same number there with 33. I see a 36 somewhere there. 36 litres was Kirby, so there's not much in that, and they've done another lap. Let's see where Corgi is. Alright, he's down in 13th.
Yeah, he's pitted already.
Guys, is there the option to possibly go to 3-stop?
Well, he's about to jump them all now as they're coming out of the pits.
Let's see where he goes.
Oh, he's right beside him on the run down the hill. No, he's closed right back up, but he's not lost or gained anything there. He's tucked right in with them again, so
Morgan Davies, how's his for fuel? He looks like he's lost a lot of time there. He might have overfueled.
He's topped off compared to the guys around him. He's playing the longer game, Mr. Davie here. He's put a little more fuel in the car. So he's going to take his medicine now and get a short stop again. Like, he's banking on these guys battling in front of him to help catch him up. So don't be surprised if he's just quite happy just to pump out some solid clean laps there.
Speedytyres in 6th.
Effectively 5th because Diego hasn't pitted yet. He's leading the race.
Alright, let's see what he does. He surely needs to plug in some fuel shortly.
Oh, just quickly check this battle out between 13th, 12th, 11th and 10th. Look at this. This is fantastic.
So Adam,
back into the top 10.
Adam's got his way around. He's pitted now, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. He's cleared all these guys legitimately now, so Ricky Bobby's been sitting in the pits the longest out of everybody on the track because he's almost a full tank, so he's doing the old pit now and fill himself up and then run light to the end. So he'll have a short stop coming up in the second stop. Scooter 82, currently 9th on the road at the moment, had his pit stop. Car looks pretty good, connection looks okay at the moment. I will keep an eye on it throughout the race, but so far so good for him. As that battle behind him is just getting heated up there, Ricky Bobby makes the move and Adam gets down the inside into the chicane.
I'm seeing a bit of glitching on screen here. I hope we're not going to crash again. I just had Corgi, Brocky and TX3 all jumping positions, and it looks as though TX3's pulled the gap here on Brocky.
He has. 0.9 of a second.
To Diego running long. Now he's... I don't think running long is going to help you in the long run, but because your lap time's certainly hindered.
He's getting his TV time, isn't he? He's getting his TV time.
He's getting his TV time tonight. We'll give him that. Don't forget they're running the special livery tonight.
Beautiful livery, that.
Everyone's changing teams. There's a few mixing up for next season.
I do believe that Dadson Racing has a new livery designer for next season. Do I think Stickers is going on to something else? A new project to another team somewhere and trying a different challenge?
He's moved on from our liveries as well, so he's taken on some new concepts. So the gap's opened up to 1 second now over Brocky. But Diego is losing some time. He was at 11.5 seconds before. He's down to 9.5 seconds in one lap.
Oh, yeah. He's doing 55s at the moment. He's well off the pace up there now. He's actually going to hurt him now. He's got traction control on as well, which is... He's trying to...
He's not even pitting.
He's going to try and one stop.
Not even pitting again. He's going to try and one stop.
He's not even close to the fuel light yet. He's got just under a quarter of a tank in the car still, so he might be trying to one stop.
He's going to be out there.
That's brave. It's another 4 minutes yet. But, TX3 there with another purple sector there. He's going to go fastest again with a 50. Oh, Brocky! Corky goes faster again! That's telling for the championship. Mr. Davie would be loving to see that from behind.
I don't know if you're loving to see that, because you've got to try and keep that pace.
Oh, he doesn't want to see TX3 with the fastest lap, though, because that's all going to seal it for him. He needs to catch him up.
Yeah.
If he can snatch the fastest lap when he catches the back of these guys, he did a 51.2 in clean air by himself there as well, so...
Definitely not slow.
He's not out of it.
It's good to see Brocky playing up the front end. He struggled with this car a little bit this season. Now that shows you right there. You can see TX3 and Morgan in the same picture, so there's nothing in it.
The official number is 2.7 seconds to Corgi from Morgan Davie there to get on the back of that pack. So he's lost a little bit of time, but like I said before, he took his medicine with fuel. So he did lose a little bit of track position through the pits. He's actually got a noticeable fuel gain on these guys in front of him. He might use it up though while trying to chase them down, so we'll see how this plays out. But he's purple. Come on, Morgan, get this lap under you.
Now I know Diego's on the big fuel save, but
it's 5 seconds the gap now too.
It's just wasting too much time.
Does this play into the race though? Does he back these guys up? Like, I don't know, if I'm in the back seat, if I'm the back seat, I'd be on the radio to him saying, look mate, get in the pits and get out of the way of these guys. Because he's going to go around again now. They'll catch him this lap.
Well, I
4.6 seconds is the gap. TX3 will be flashing the lights like crazy shortly once he gets up behind him.
Well, it is the two teams. He's got the Dadson in front of him, was the team duo this season, and we know where Diego's heading, and it's right behind him, so his team orders already from a new team.
Yeah, well. Which one of the CP teams is Diego going to? Do we know?
They need to change their names because it's too hard.
Let me have a quick squeeze, guys, while we're going through this here. So I believe
just check down there, boys. It's counterpunch.
Counterpunch. So he's taking the Corgi seat. So the car that's 3 spots behind him, sorry, who's now purple.
So Morgan, he is now. He's keeping the gap stable. It's 2.8, 2.9 seconds out back to Corgi. Dropping off Speedytyres though. Speedytyres down to 4 seconds behind him. D-Flow holding on to 7th, and he's got Mountain Goat behind him. We know Mountain Goat will come alive towards an end of a stint.
Yeah, D-Flow's had a good race so far. Obviously he dropped a few spots in that first lap incident where cars were spitting everywhere, but to get himself back into a decent spot there in 7th position, he'd be pretty happy so far. Actually, none of these guys would be happy with 7th, but
well,
as far as the race goes anyway.
Sean was saying, did Brocky have a moment? I don't think he did. I think he's just TX3's pulled the pin.
I think they're going to get away with this. I think Diego's going to get to the pits just before these guys get to him. He does. He gets out of the way. So that worked out really well for everybody. Diego pulls into the pits just as TX3 catches him, and away they go.
So that's right on the halfway mark. So that could play a factor come the end of the race.
Well, the end of the race, if they play out like this, they will be catching him right at the very end of the race.
Now, do they have enough? I mean,
they don't have enough to go around.
He was ahead of him. He was ahead of him at the 25-minute mark. So, but then he's got a pit in there, so he's going to be behind him in the pit once the pit time comes out. So yeah, he's going to become a factor anyway towards the end of the race in terms of.
He'll fulfill now.
In terms of being in the way, I should say.
Well, if everything works out the way he wants it to here, he doesn't have to stop again now. He'll come out in front when everyone else pits, theoretically. If he does, then he's in the race to win the race from there. So he doesn't have to give position up for these guys. He doesn't have to get out of the way. He can fight for the lead, which would be just amazing. He won't have a very good car to fight the race at the end of the race. Don't get me wrong, the car's not going to be happy by the end of the race, and it'll be very light on fuel, so he can't afford to fight too hard, but he's playing himself in for a good top 5 here. And I tell you what, I think the Deeds guys will be on the radio to back us going, you know, us beer guys are like, you know, when the time comes, how about you do a bit of battling with the leaders and get Davey that little bit of a chance to get on the back of him for the run to the end.
Well, I'll be straight into our team chat at Bacchus saying you better not be listening to them.
So it's just over a second now between TX3 and the Cyborg, and it's further second back to Corgi. So the top three have sort of stabilised a little bit around that 1 second mark. Two and a half back to Mr. Davie there in fourth, who's phenomenal first couple of stints for him to get himself up there. But now he's sort of plateaued in that clean air. But as you can see, the field's starting to fan out now after the first set of stops. He's blown out 4 or 5 seconds on Speedy Tyres for fifth.
So what this is going to do is, it's going to be one, because Davey's overfueled, or not overfueled, just put more in than what he needed, and come this last stint, he's probably going to pull right up behind TX3, and it's going to be a mega race to the end, because he'll be able to just have a shorter pit stop.
Well, this is the thing, he's only got to get himself to Corgi. If he can get up to Corgi, then he's playing himself in. And so far, looking at the fuel numbers, he's got Corgi well covered for fuel. TX3 and Cyborg are a little bit better off. Corgi's the one that's in trouble for fuel out of the top four. Looking back at Speedy Tyres, he's very good on fuel as well. D-Flow's good. Mountain Goat's got an absolute bucket load in his car, currently 7th. He's going to make up some spots at the end of the race.
Yeah, I've been watching Mountain Goat. I think he's just sitting behind D-Flow here, just fuel saving.
Ricky Bobby's still got half a tank in the car, currently 9th, so he's going to have a very short stop towards the end of the race. The downside to this too, though, is these guys are losing track position and losing touch with the leaders. Ricky Bobby's had 19 seconds off the lead, so you can't make that up in a stop.
No.
But he can make up some spots, though. He's 3.7 seconds to Scooter, who's still limping around with that alternator problem. Haven't seen any more glitches from him, though, for the last couple of laps, so I've been progressive, going backwards and forwards, just making sure I keep checking on him for the guys, doing my due diligence.
I just dropped back to Scooter just before, and he's still glitching a little bit, but hopefully he can last.
Scooter, yeah. Well, he's in clean air at the moment as well. He's got 3 seconds either side of him as well, so just keeping an eye on it. If I see him dive off the track again into the fence, then I'll probably black flag him just to keep him out of the way, which I would never like to do, but unfortunately Australian internet doesn't really play nicely to people that are all over the country.
Bit of a quiet race for Captain Muffin, down in 13th.
Well, and to get turned around that bad into turn 1 on the first lap, he was 90 degrees across the track compared to everybody else, facing sideways, sort of looking at the inside fence going, what just happened?
Yeah.
It took him a bit to get the car recovered as well. He had to back it up to get it turned around, so the Team 53 old curse has sort of hit him a couple of times this season. These guys tend to get caught up in incidents, but you know, he's still there. He's only 3 seconds off the back of Black Project at the moment, so that's the back of the top 12.
So we've got TX3 now out to a 1.3 gap, so it looks like Brocky's just hanging with him, but slowly drifting back. Corgi, 1.5 seconds off.
That gap's starting to drop between him and Davey. Davey's pulled it to 1.5 now. It's another second out of that gap. He's starting to make his move here, I think.
Well, we're getting down to the last 5 minutes is probably going to, or another 5 minutes is probably going to be the end of the second stint.
Well, these guys here are all under a quarter of a tank now. TX3, Cyborg, Corgi are all under a quarter. Corgi's not that far from the fuel light, I don't say, by looking at the gauge there. Morgan Davie's just crossed a quarter of a tank now, so that fuel saver's starting to work for him as he's closing in on these guys now.
It will make for one interesting end of the race, and the speed that he got through the pack, he's probably got the speed to, dare I say it, catch TX3.
Well, definitely going to give us an entertaining finish to the race anyway. It's not very often when you can see the first 4 cars in one shot coming down the straight, which is what you want to see when the championship's under the results of this race for what's going to happen. And you've got Corgi there currently with the fastest lap. We just put a blocker in for TX3 at the moment, helping Mr. Davie out. But as we know, fresh tyres and light fuel for the end of the race, these cars are going to be extremely quick in this last stint. So anything can happen, and probably will happen from here.
It looks as though Brecky. Looks as though Brecky's putting a bit of pressure on. Brocky's putting a bit of pressure on now. He's got it under a second. This is you get to this point of the race and the concentration levels drop off a little bit.
Yep. 50 minutes is a long time. So these guys have been in the lobby now. Some of these guys have been in the lobby since 5:30 as well. We're now crossing 10 to 9. So
yeah, it's a long time.
That's a long time to be doing laps in the car, and obviously fatigue will start to play into a factor later on in the race. You got these guys like TX3, Cyborg, Corgi that can punch out photocopy laps all day, every day. But even then, though, TX3's last lap was a 52.4.
That's still
so
quick.
He's just drifted. It's quick, but not as quick as what he's been going. He's been in the 51s consistently through the race, so he's just starting to drop time as the fuel light just comes on for him now. Does he dive into the pits? Cyborg is closing in as well, so he's definitely got a chance of winning this race still, the Cyborg. I'd like to see him at least try to win it as well as his fuel light comes on. They're going to go around again. Corgi's in. This will be him to the end of the race. That's just taken Morgan Davie's lifeline for a tow out of the equation. He needed one more lap to get on the back of him there.
So that's Corgi using some fuel there. He's 4 litres left in the tank. I don't think we're going to see much at all left in this tank once the TX3 and Brocky get around.
Scooter's in as well. So Corgi went in the lap early last time as well, remember, so he's on that slightly different stint. So he'll feel a little bit more than those guys around him to get him to the end.
Speedytyres still hanging on to 4th. It's a good run from Speedy. D-Flow up to 5th now.
Him and Mountain Goat have been having a bit of a ding-donger here, actually, in the back half of the 10. They've dropped Ricky Bobby off quite a bit, but he stopped for a massive amount of time in the pits as well, so he's still got just under a quarter of a tank of fuel. So he's very heavy on the track at the moment.
Mountain Goat. Ricky Bobby up to 7th. Him and Gazball's 7th and 8th. That's better than 9th and 10th where they were last round. Black Project into 9th. Captain Muffin in 10th. Diego still Corgi in 11th and Diego in 12th. Sorry.
Diego's 12th, but he's going to one stop, so he'll pick up a lot of spots as these guys start pitting. He's cleared Scooter and he's cleared Adam at the moment, but it's only a 10-second gap back to Scooter, who was about 8th on the road. So Diego might not even come out in front of him. He might get jumped by the leaders.
All right, what happens with Morgan here? Morgan comes in.
Okay, Cyborg's in, TX3's in. The fuel for 2, 3. What's Morgan's fuel look like?
3. There's nothing in it.
It's plateaued. Okay, where's Corgi? Corgi is 11th on the road, so he's actually already cleared Diego, so Diego's in trouble now. He's heading up towards the chicane now, Corgi. How's his outlap? He's not had any traffic issues by the looks of it, so...
It's going to be interesting to see the fuel numbers the front two put in as well.
Look at Ricky Bobby Mountain Goat's fuel, 14 and 12 respectively. The leaders are on 2s and 3s.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, Corgi out of the final corner. Front straight. I can see cars moving the end of pit lane. This is going to be close to the line.
Oh, I think they've got him pretty easy. Morgan well behind.
Oh, Morgan's got it all to do now. He's fueled heavy again, Morgan.
So he's lost about almost a second there. But what it'll do is, pitting the lap early for Corgi, it'll make it end of his last stint there on worse tyres.
Morgan Davie's got a lot of fuel on board there. Diego's 5th on the road now. As the stints all cleanse out. So he's about right for fuel, but he's obviously got worn out tyres as well, or worn in tyres now as well, so he's going to be feeling those tyres towards the end of the race. But he's okay for fuel, so his calculations have been alright.
Can we do a bit of a fuel update for after the last round of pit stops for the top 5?
Alright, so fuel for TX3 GDR there is just on 2/3 of a tank for the end of the race. Cyborg is a millimetre more fuel than that. Corky's a millimetre less, obviously with that extra stop. Morgan Davie is just on 3/4 of a tank. So he's trying something here, Morgan. He might be going for the fastest lap and really going to push that car for the next couple of laps. Diego is a little bit lighter than the leaders, so he's a little bit over half a tank, but he's going to be limping it to get it home. Speedy Tyres, about the same as the lead pair. D-Flow, Mountain Goat, they're all the same from further back.
Right, so it's all up to Morgan now. He's either got to use that bit extra fuel and push the car and try and make some gap up. But I mean, he's got a long way to go now by the look of that. He's dropped back off Corgi there, down to 3.3 seconds.
He's tantalisingly close to that pack too. It's just out of reach for him at the moment. He'd be reaching his hand out across the dashboard trying to get hold of him. But Diego will be the interesting one now. He's the cork in the bottle for most of these guys here. That car will be slow. He's doing mid 52s already, sorry. And I reckon the likes of Speedy Tyres and that, who just did a 49.9 outlap, will pick him off fairly quickly here. 49.7 for Mountain Goat on the outlap as well. What did the leaders do, just out of interest? 49.6 for TX3, 49.8. Oh wow, Corgi did a 51 outlap. And Morgan Davie did a 49.5 there, so probably the fastest was Morgan Davie.
Well, I'm down on Scooter 82 at the moment. His car looks beaten and battered on the front, a little bit on the back.
Yeah, he's definitely got some panel damage that was banging off the walls earlier. The game will render the damage from the wall hits, even though they don't technically happen. So he's been carrying that damage all race so far, but from what I've seen so far, I think he's lucky that he's in such a big gap. He's got 6 seconds in front and 3 seconds behind, so at the moment, even if he is spazzing out, he's not really affecting anybody.
Yeah, and it's probably not making the situation any worse being close to people.
Yeah, exactly.
Through an internet point of view.
Unfortunately, in the world of online sim racing, this is what it's like. Sometimes you get that day when the internet's not quite playing on your side, and there's not a lot we can do about it, unfortunately. Which just sucks for people if if in fact he has cleaned somebody up where we haven't seen it earlier in the race. But again, there's not a lot we can do about it, unfortunately.
Adam's still sticking around that 12th, so he went hard for a few rounds there. I'm not sure if he had a win, but he had a win in the Group B. But he's definitely up the front of the pack. But now he just seems to be slackening off a little bit towards maybe doesn't like the Nürburgring.
Davey just got so close to the fastest lap. He did a 50.088 there that previous lap out. That was so close to the fastest lap. He's trying everything at this one at the moment.
So 2 points.
TX3.
2 points from 4th position. Well, is that what Brent was talking about earlier? Could put him on a tie.
I was going to say, it's 4th and the fastest lap good enough for a tie, I think, isn't it? Just double checking. Doing the maths with the abacus out again. You'd be proud there, Sean.
Right, so that's what we've got to watch out for, is that fastest lap. Now he's probably the biggest thing you do is once you run that really close number, you are pushing the car to do it again. And it's gonna, if he's trying to get that, he's really going to hurt his car in terms of tyre wear and fuel. Could be the fact that he put in the extra fuel. I think you need third or second or third to get pole and tie with first.
So it's 30 points for the win, and it's 4th position's good for 24 points. Apparently, what I can see in front of me. I might be wrong though.
But what's happening now is Brocky is closed right up the TX3. Jump on board with Brocky. Take the corner nice and wide. They cut it in tight.
Oh, nice little battle here at the moment as well between 6th, 7th and 8th. So Diego, D-Flow and Mountain Goat have all grouped up.
We'll jump on that because I want to get off TX3 at the moment in case he gets a commentator's curse.
Defo to the inside. Aggressive move down the inside there on the chill out car. Tries to get around backers, but it's just he shut himself down there. So now the Everest go down the inside. Martin Goat has a look. Sideways on exit. These guys are putting on a bit of a show.
This is the
After
one.
all that flim flam, they didn't change any positions. Defo again down the inside into the hairpin. There it is.
Mount Goat's going to follow him.
Nice move.
Oh!
Oh, that almost went pear-shaped for everybody there as Diego got sideways off the curb. It was probably a bit of alert driving there from Mountain Goat just to live slightly there to let him back in because...
Well, this is the cork in the bottle. This is the one stop that's proven these slower lap times are going to be causing interference with a few of the drivers.
Yeah, look at D-Flow just running away at the moment as well. Mountain Goat needs to get this done at the chicane. It's a brave idea from Diego, but I don't think it's really paid off, unfortunately. He's just getting eaten alive by these guys with better rubber. Look at that. Didn't even look like he was going to be able to cover for Mountain Goat there. Slides and exit as well. Oh, lead change. Cyborg to the lead. Down the inside. Morgan Davie just takes the fastest lap of the race as well. This is heating up. That's going to put a big spanner in the works here for TX3. $27 points versus 24, and fastest lap is 20. Whoa. It's going to be close at the end, guys.
So Davies needs to get around Corgi.
He does. He needs to be third on the road to win the championship, I think, off my mathematics on top of my head. Someone will have to knows a bit more about maths than me. Needs to do some counting for me real quick.
Well,
Ghost, looking at you, mate.
If it's 27 versus 24 and a 2 points for pole, that's not quite enough. He needs to get around Corgi. But also, TX3 needs to get back around Brocky, because just take the pressure off that little bit more.
Just quality too. Corgi's looking a light on fuel compared to the other guys, plus he got an extra lap on those tyres. Morgan needs to push here. He needs to push as fast as he can to try and get on the back of Corgi. Put him under pressure.
Just got the abacus out here again, boys. Just sitting down here at Lucky's Lawn Care, and the gap for the points is completely wiped out. But at this stage, 2 points if this race finishes like this.
TX3 putting the pressure on the Cyborg again as well. He knows what he needs to do now. He needs to win the race really to set himself up. To clear everything off, just win the race.
What have we got? We've probably got 3 laps left, potentially 4. Are we going to? Have they got enough fuel for 4?
They're over a quarter of a tank still, just under a third of a tank for the front 3. Corgi's on a quarter, and Morgan Davie's got over a third of a tank. So he's heaviest out of everybody at the moment. He would like them to go an extra lap, would probably be Morgan Davie, because I think that means Corgi would start getting fuel safe mode and might lose the podium here. So there's a 2-second gap, just under 2 seconds now between Davie and Corgi here.
Yeah.
Our Cyborg here.
It's closing and
leading the way
opening
at the moment. Yeah. Cyborg doing what Cyborg does. He get out in front now. He's going to put the foot down.
There's nothing in it. We knew it was going to come down to the wire.
Ghost is green. Morg needs third. There it is. Doing what he can at the moment. Tyre wear will become a factor shortly as well. Fuel save will be a factor as well.
I'm guessing a 3rd place for Morgan is going to put them as a tie.
And then on count back, it goes back to race wins, I think. Don't quote me on that though. It'll be down to the stewards, I think, make that decision. I think that's what was thrown around earlier in the season. If there's a tie, it goes back to race wins. But
so has Morgan done used his car up trying to get the gap down? Is what he's asking himself.
Looking at the tyre wear, he hasn't. From what I can see, he's got better tyre wear than Corgi. Corgi's run that extra lap, so he's sort of out of sequence with these guys. He's hurt the car quite a bit running that extra lap. It's 2.1 seconds now, Morgan to Corgi. He needs to bridge that gap. He's pushing that car hard, Davey. He's really trying to get there.
I tell you what, he made up some time through there. It's almost down to 1.5 seconds now.
Yeah, Corgi's struggling in the really slow corners at the moment, trying to get that drive. Those rear tyres are starting to hurt. Car's light on fuel as well, which means it's got no grip. Come back down the field at the moment. Mountain Goat starting to close it on D-Flow again after getting bottled up behind Diego, who is still there, currently 8th. I'm just going to Scooter's just getting caught up by Ricky Bobby at the moment as well now, so I'll start checking on him again throughout the last couple of laps of the race.
Diego down to 8, so that one stop has not paid off. Backus boys running 8th and 9th. Ricky Bobby in 10th and 11th. So Ricky Bobby and Gaz Balls are back to their positions from last week.
Yep. I do think they'll all end up jumping Diego, though. I think he's running on the numbers I can see. I don't think his car's going to be able to limp home on the tyres that are run it. He's starting to do 54s again, so he's losing a second lap to everybody else at the moment.
Adam down in 12th.
I think he's just on cruise home mode now, Adam. Unfortunately, he's just had that race where it just hasn't worked out for him.
And
Oh, Corg's had a mistake here. Davie's on top of him. This is championship here on the line. Corgie's had a big problem there somewhere. He's dropped 3 seconds to lead. Morgan down the inside.
third.
He gets it done. Wow, that happened quickly. I just caught it before it became a thing.
Well, this changes
Oh,
things
dear.
up.
Yes, TX3 needs to make the move now. He sees Davey behind him on the road. He needs to pass the sidewalk before the end of the race. He has to win.
Morgan's car's looking slippery.
Well, he's done what he can do now. He's not going to catch these guys at 3 seconds. He's pulled a second on Corgi. He's on massive fuel save, Corgi. He's got that number wrong. He's trying to get the car home without having to stop again. But it's all on TX3 now. I think if the positions stay the way they are, I think Davey wins it.
Well, he's
What
had
a drive that's been.
He's had a good drive from pretty much back of the pack. Looks like Brocky's pulling away here.
Troy's not trying to sound dejected here in the commentary box, watching his guy here trying to get it done. But this is the thing. There's another couple laps to go. TX3's got plenty of car under him. He's a quick driver. Depends what the sideblock wants to do as well. These cars are very even between the lead two.
3.3 back to Davies.
Yeah, the guys in the chat reckon it was a phone call there for Corgi there to get out of the way, Davey. I don't know, boys. All right. Diego, sorry, he's just getting past now for Scooter there down the inside. Tucks back in behind.
Yeah, well, I think the early stop for Corgi probably played part in it. Speedytyres in 5th.
Yeah, Corgi's going to struggle to go round again if it gets to the K. He's trying to slow down now. You can see him backing off the back of Davey. You can see that he's close to the end of the race, but he's going to have to go round again, I think. So he's going to struggle to get round again. He might even lose 4th position here to his teammate, who's closing in. But here we go, 1 to go. Cyborg from TX3 GDR, Morgan Davie 3rd. Corgi 4th with a question mark. Speedytyres is closing in. It's a 5-second gap, but oh, look at this battle here. It's Mountain Goat versus D-Flow down the front straight. Bit of zigzagging going on there from Mountain Goat, trying to break the slipstream. D-Flow right behind him. He's going to go to the outside, trying to get the crisscross. Brakes early. He's going to try to get the car under off the inside there. Tuck it in. Doesn't get the drive. Asks a lot from these tyres when they're this old.
It looks pretty tight. This has been the two that have been driving together most of the race. And now
Most of the season, those guys.
Yeah, well, now the tides have turned and D-Flow is following. Let's jump back up the front because we have Brocky out to a second lead.
Karen's saying in the chat that TX3 got 1 point as it stands now.
I think it is, yeah.
So he's still going to win it.
Because you get 25 points for third, so it's 2. It'd be by 1 point.
Wow.
Yeah, just threw out the abacus, boys. 25 points for third, 27 for second. With the fastest lap, TX3 wins by 1 point.
Wow.
That's
you can't get any closer than that, guys.
That's keeping it to the wire.
As they come out of the final chicane now, it looks like the Cyborg's going to do it.
He's
back to Cyborg.
It's been an awesome race from Cyborg. The last couple of races, he's been working his way to the front. But he's gone and done it at Nürburgring.
TX3 finished second, and that'll give him the championship for TX3. That's championship number 2. Morgan Davie with a valiant drive there for third position. Did everything he could to get back up from the qualifying. Corgi going to get fourth, just out of fuel there at the end, but he gets it done over Speedy Tyres. And this is this battle here. Mountain Goat versus Defo. Defo sideways at the last, but Mountain Goat's going to get it done. Defo throws the car around. It looks like Scooter 82 is going to limp home in that buggy car. Ricky Bobby throws the car into the fence at the end there. Gazballs finishes 10th in the end. Diego out of fuel at the end. He's going to make it though because the other guys have already finished. Brave drive there from Diego to get the car home in one stop, sort of, almost, not quite. But Adam gets 11th.
Adam for 12th. Black Project for 13th and Captain Muffin for 14th. Well, that's a big win for Brocky, but a bigger win for TX3. And a massive drive from Morgan to come from, I think, 12th. I think he was on the
12th on the grid. He was, yeah.
And pretty much to the point of almost a couple more laps, he was fighting for position. He put every effort in. He put the fastest lap in to get the extra 2 points.
Well, there it is. You're champion.
That's
got there, mate.
That's season over.
Oh, I love the helmet from the Cyborg there with 5X on the front as well. Good to see. Showing everybody he's a 5-time champion. He's going to have one off this one though. TX3 takes the championship win. So I think we might see number 1 on the TX3 Auto 1 car next season with a white window banner.
Yeah, well, he's staying along on the Ragged Edge again, so that's good for me, I suppose.
Again, though, that locks out the championship winners at Sector 1 to 2 drivers. So the Cyborg and TX3 GDR both the championship wins.
We got
Sector 1.
We've got some celebrations on track at the moment. But yeah, I mean, Morgan's put the fight up every race. And we come into the last round with 1 point in it, and to top it off where it ended, with 1 point still being in it, Morgan doing everything he could to close the gap, and at the end of the day, it's probably a little bit of a luck our way, being out of the battle pack, but yeah, big congratulations to TX3, second championship for Sector 1, first one for RER as well. That's our first ever.
Yep.
And that goes a long way to the points towards. Let me jump out of this because there's a lot of car noise.
He's not caring about that car anymore, does he? He's throwing it off the fence. Well, that's it too for the GT3 area for Sector 1. This will obviously got a race for Group B next week, which a lot of questions to be answered in that one as well. But for the Group A boys, this is it for the wide fender, big aero, wide tyre GT3 era. We go back to a GT4 car next season, so touring cars will be back.
I could just about throw my picture up of. Let me go to it. Not the one I've got on there at the moment, because that's pretty much the finishing order of the championship. TX3 for first, Davies for second, and Brocky for third. Now,
there you go. Morgan Davie there in the chat there as well in the lobby. Well done, brother, to GDR. Won it without having won a single race. Legendary stuff. That's it. Consistency is the key there, guys.
Did he not win a race? That's a bad
Apparently
team.
not.
It's a bad team owner, isn't it?
Well, Morgan had a win, didn't he? Along the way as well, so...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure TX3 had a win there.
Yeah, just checking the abacus and the encyclopedia of Jalen here, guys. TX3 did have a couple of wins this season.
There you go.
One at Suzuka. Also, I think one he dominated Dragon Trail Seaside.
That's right.
Yeah, they're all telling him now. He won round 1, mate.
So yeah, he's won a couple of rounds this season, as has Morgan. Morgan also did very, very well at Maggiore, won the race there, and St. Croix as well. So they got 2 wins apiece.
All right.
Well, that would have made it interesting for the count back if they had a tied.
Drive of the day. I'm gonna go Morgan. I think to come from where he did and do everything he could to close that gap, I think that's a big effort. Morgan, or we should probably recap the race results. We haven't done that yet.
Yep.
So what we have is Brocky takes. Is that Brocky's first win this season? I haven't believed that. Might be.
I'll just have a bit of a scroll up and double check.
Now Brocky was contemplating on. I think he was almost not racing tonight, and I bet he's glad he did now. But
yeah,
anyway,
Cyborg's been a bit crook lately. That's his first race win for the season.
So Brocky.
Go figure.
Brocky goes first. TX3 takes home second, and Morgan Davie's third. Corgi for fourth, running out of fuel. Speedytyres for fifth. Mountain Goat for sixth. D-Flow for seventh. Scooter 82 for eighth, who was lucky to hold on tonight because his internet was playing up rather shocking. Ricky Bobby for ninth. Gazballs for 10th. Diego 11th. Adam for 12th. Black Project for 13th. And Captain Muffin rounding out the top 14. And Morgan Davies with the fastest lap on lap 22 with a 1:50.8. Now that's better than half the qualifying times. So that's a very good race lap.
Just throwing around the old abacus here, guys, and pending penalties and whatnot, and if you trust the boffins here at Deeds Racing, because we usually get it wrong, TX3 is on 156 and Morgan is on 154. So TX3 at this stage, this is preliminary, pending penalties and whatnot, 2 points officially.
Wow.
Well, that's a good championship to run right down to the wire and be 2 points in it. And they've been at it all season. Same with the M4s. That was down on 9 points, I believe, between Ghost and TJ, and they took it down to the wire tonight. But anyway, we have the community series coming up on Wednesday. It'll be the last one, and Thursday. I keep saying Wednesday. I believe that's Dragon Trail. Might even be Nürburgring itself. Oh no, sorry, Sabuka.
Yes.
Sabuka.
Oh yeah, there he is.
Oh hey.
Hello, Mr. Cyborg.
Good evening, guys. Hope that was a good race to watch.
It's a great race, mate.
Yeah,
Well done, mate. Good
really
drive.
nice.
Congratulations.
Really nice of you to jump in front of TX3 there to make everyone hearts jump in their throat.
Look, I'll be honest with you. I had no intention of being involved in what was going on with the championship, so I had Speedy behind the scenes in our party chat, calculating where people would finish, just so I knew that I wasn't stuffing up GTR or getting involved in his fight with Morgan. So had I not pulled away from him, I probably would have just let him go past and stayed out of it, and probably would have let Morgan go as well. I didn't know where they were going to finish, but...
Well, at the end of the day, it ended up with 2 points in it, or 1 or 2 points, and your first win of the season.
Yeah, it was a big surprise. I only found out I was racing on Friday afternoon, so it was good. But the battle between GTR and Morgan throughout the season's been brilliant, and for Morgan to go out of his way to claim that fastest lap, really could have been what made the difference if there wasn't any other issues that happened. So,
I think I mentioned a few laps into it, after the fastest lap Morgan did, that could have been the point in the race that hindered his car to catch TX3, maybe, just to use a lot of the car to make the fastest lap, but he still did it. Still got his point back.
I
Yeah,
think
it was good.
I think that what will happen now at DH Racing is there'll be a lot of qualifying run practice happening. I think because
No,
that's
no.
been one of the problems that Davey's had this season, where he just has got himself out of the sink in qualifying. And again tonight, he started himself on the back foot by being so far down the field. Yes, he made it through the field really well in that first stint, but that was where he got to fourth position and couldn't catch up from there because he was 3 seconds off the back of him, and he didn't have a toe, and he was working that car really hard to catch up from there, which probably, at the end of the day, was probably what ended up losing him the championship.
I just had a chat with Morgan as well, and he's pretty gracious in defeat. He's dejected, but he's done all he could, so he's holding his. I'm proud of him. He's
He
done a
did
great
well.
job. Very good job this season. So
Well, I tell you what,
Morgs,
he makes it hard for himself starting 12th. So if he could get that qualifying in order, it definitely would help him out.
Well,
but that shows the caliber of this Group A as well, just how competitive and how close it is between 14 of the very, very best we have to offer here at Sector 1. With, like, for example, like you got a 5-time champion in Brocky, who's an absolute legend in this series, and you've got guys that are mixing it up with him, and you know, the caliber of competition has really been raised over the last 2 seasons to a whole new level. So for Morgan to get that close, and for GDR to win his second title, you know, it's amazing how far we've come.
Yep,
definitely.
Just looking at the
CP got 1-2 in quali again.
They
2
did.
rounds in a row.
That was good. That was good. They had 3 out of the top 4 cars of CP. Just saying. Just looking at this finish result too. So TX3 GDR winning the championship means it's a Walkenhorst M6 leading the way over the M-Power Brigade. I think there's only 3 teams with Walkenhorst cars this season.
Yeah.
So to see that happen is pretty funny actually as well. So it might be those extra lights that are doing the job for them.
I only noticed that today when I was putting some of these them couple of pictures together. There's so many of the M6 M-Power and like 3 or 4 of the Walkenhurst.
Well, I just want to say thanks to everyone that has been involved in running it, all the admin, the stewards, the comms team. You guys have been brilliant. It's been a really good season. You know, like I've had ups and downs. I'm happy to have finished 3rd in that field with the performances I've had this season, but it's it's everything that goes on behind the scenes that makes it run like a well-oiled machine. So thanks, boys.
You're here.
It's all right. We'll be talking to you later in the stewards' room for passing TX3 tonight.
Was it too clean? I'm sorry.
Don't get me wrong. 3/4 of that way through. 3/4 of the way through that race, I'm sitting there watching it. I'm like, "Come on, Brocky, actually hold him up. I want a CP car to win," and I couldn't believe I was actually saying that. So.
Yeah. No, there was never going to be any hold up. Like back at St. Croix, you know, there was really no intention of fighting. If I knew I could have passed Morgan and pulled away, I would have done it. But there was no point in getting involved in their battle when I had no chance of being involved in it. So, you know, I don't see any point in doing that. And the same for GTR tonight. I would have done the same thing. But unfortunately for him, when I did pass him, I managed to pull away and he was out of my tow. And, you know, when you're in that position, unfortunately, the competitive nature in you just basically says, no, you can't lift and make it easy.
Well,
I'll just see if I can get him in old GDR real quick before we wrap it up.
He was just going to have dinner, so hopefully you can.
Maybe not, but we'll give it a crack.
So don't forget we have the community series on Thursday. I got that one right. We'll be at Sepulka. And last one of the series. Group B following Sunday. It's going to be another good match. Got the likes of Brent, myself. Trying to think of the field. You got Knuckles, Lucky. They're all in there. It's going to be another good one to watch. And that's going to be end of season finale. TX3's in chat. We could get TX3 to hurry up and get on. He can jump on the line if he wants. Just turned off the PS4. Oh no.
Oh bugger. Ah well.
So just checking points out as well, guys. Like, looking at the team side of things, Ragged Edge at this stage carries a 15-point lead in the M6 title against my mob. So there's still everything to play for in that one.
Oh yeah, you still got to fire your shot yet. And so does Troy. So it's going to be a race between you guys next week. Here we go. So Teams Championship's not over, ladies and gentlemen. So if you think it's going to be quiet next weekend, you're dead wrong.
Yep.
Nervous is an understatement.
Let's hope the servers don't play up for us.
Yeah, we don't want that happening again.
Well, look, with the Olympic trials over, I think you guys should be fine. Tonight seemed to run fairly smooth. I saw a few glitches from a few people here and there, but nothing terrible. So yeah, I think you'll be right.
The only issue we had all night was Scooter had a bit of problem with the car skipping about a bit, but towards the middle and the end of the race, it seemed to calm itself down. So other than that, it was okay. It's one of those things though. Was in the test lobby, we got him out and to reset and back in again, and it seemed like it settled down. But then when the race started, it got a bit iffy again. So
yeah, usually will when everyone's bulked up. So
yeah, it puts the most stress on it when their cars are all packed on top of each other like that. But again, you watch the stream, when you watch the race back, you'll watch, I think it was like, lap 10 or so, and the cars were still on the front straight pretty much. So the group did a really good job tonight to stay in touch, which is something that we haven't seen in the past, where we've seen the field spread right out after only a couple of laps.
Yep.
So to see the top 10 cars all within, I think we looked back and it was like Morgan was running 10th or something, and he was only about 4 seconds off the lead even then. So he never got any closer to the lead throughout the race, but he got up another 6 spots.
Well, we're going to see all new cars, all new liveries, and a whole new bracket of racing next season with the Group 4. It's going to bring a lot of people in together as well, because everyone's driving the same car, no matter your Group A, Group B, Category 1 or Category 2.
It's going to be great, because you've got the likes of, especially for teams like CP, and that now they'll have, obviously with the Cyborg yourself, doing a lot of lap guides for people and that too. So you'll have your own teammates, all of them, all 18 of them, in the lobby with you at the same time. You guys can all practice in the same car at the same time. So it's going to make it a lot easier for the guys that are still sort of trying to improve their overall race speed. I know on my behalf, when I come back next season into Group B of the trophy series, I'm going to be looking to the guys in the championship for pointers on how to get the best pace out of the car. So it's going to be really valuable for someone like myself that has had a couple seasons out of the seat and really wants to sort of try and put some speed together. So I'll be looking for all the help I can get, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, and look, you've got Corgi, who's going to be a big help.
Yeah,
alone.
Yeah, well, that's what we're hoping for.
But there's been some amazing moves throughout the going into next season, and a few absolute guns coming into the fold. So some new names people are going to see, some new people to support.
Yeah, probably the biggest name coming in is Kiwi Raikkonen out of the community series. Absolutely dominated the community for the past season. Pretty much won every race that he was in before he's sort of popped himself in. He's going to Datsun Racing, I believe.
Yep.
What a
which is
pickup
a huge
for Datsun.
scoop for those guys over there. And he'll be in a Mustang as well, which is a proven race winner, the Mustang. It's a well-balanced car, so...
Yep. And he's going to be alongside Airborne, and Adam.
Yeah.
So, no, not Adam. Sorry, Airborne, just Airborne. But those two together are going to be.
And alongside Scooter.
Yeah, that's right.
And Scooter.
That's what I was thinking of. And then you've got RMR, who's going to have a very strong team as well.
Yeah, Red Mist have picked up Atom, TJ, and Kazi to join with Womble there as well.
TJ stepping up into Category 1.
What have you got going over there? The Bad Doctor's joining your ranks there as well. So that's a solid performer for the top end of town in the trophy series to join Mr. Bumcrack. So you guys are going to be really, really powerful in the trophy series next season as well. Not to mention the fact that yourself and TX3 are going to be returning for the championship.
And Bad Doctor has, the level of improvement that he has had over the last season and a half has been crazy. So
he's not a happy man in the GT3 car. He does not like it. He doesn't like the M6. He didn't like the Ferrari. But he's been doing laps in the M4 this season, just out of practice with Filthy and the boys and that, all mucking around there in those practice lobbies as well. and he's been very competitive in the M4. So I think he's going to come into the GT4 era quite well.
The calibre of competition in that group as well, though. You can't forget about Stickers. You've got Shizer, you've got Jim Bob, you've got Oscar, who's just stepping in. Am I right in saying he's racing 1453 again next season?
Double check it for you while I'm here.
And NASCAR as well. That's a stacked touring car trophy group.
Pete's dropping back to the touring car trophy next season. So NASCAR and King Oscar in the trophy series. And they've got Captain Muffin and Chucky in the championship as well. So they're going to be... she's going to be a good season, guys. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, definitely.
And just changing up cars too, it's going to bring something to the stream. Not running... I mean, we're still running the no tuning and the same weights and whatever, but just the different cars and how they handle is going to be good to see again as well.
Yeah, well, without BOP switched on these cars, the Group 4 cars can actually handle, which is nice. So, a lot of teams have put...
The biggest thing is for the M6 drivers is the speed deduction. Because they're bullets at the moment, and you jump in one of them and you go, oh no, it's like driving my grandma's laser. Anyway,
well, thanks for having me on board, boys. I'm going to jump out.
I think we're about to wrap up. Yeah, well done, Brocky.
Thanks, boys.
Big congratulations to TX3 taking out second championship for himself, first for RER. A big run for Morgan Davie tonight for Deeds. That finishes Group A for the season. We will be back Sunday night for Group B. I think that just about rounds us up. You got any last words? Oh, do we end up with the driver of the day? I don't think we had too many of them in there. Doesn't matter. We're running with Morgan, if there wasn't that many. Yeah, I think that just about rounds us up. You got any last words before we wrap her up? No? Sounds good to me.
Yeah, let's get out of here. MotoGP is going to be on shortly, so... And good news on the Moto2 front as well. Remy Gardner won.
Oh, nice.
All right. Well, we will see you all either Thursday night or Sunday night. It's Thursday night for the community series, Sunday night for Group B. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching, all the viewers. Thanks for coming into the box and hosting. Brent for another turn tonight, and Lucas yourself as well. We will see you all next week.